Opinionated Idiot.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. It's April Fools. All right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just kidding. Bye. I'm just kidding. That was really bad. That was terrible. I don't know why I just did that. But anyway, by the power of the internet, our curious minds connect. You're back here live on the Opinionated Idiot YouTube live show. It is April. I almost said March. It's April 1st, 2023 on this Saturday. I want you guys to come hang out, relax, sit back, plug in, and be opinionated. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I'm bored. I ran home from work. I said, I'm going to go and stream tonight. There's not much going on. Hopefully we get some people to join us, but I understand it's Saturday night. If not, we're going to do a little show for the people in the room. Let's check the room here, see who's here. I always say G. I always want to say G. I got to stop myself from doing that. MRG in the chat said, hi, all. Ready for another great show. We have Kathy here. Kathy is from Florida. Welcome, Kathy, and welcome to all the new subscribers that have subscribed to the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel over the past couple of days. And look, guys, we finally have gotten over the 3,000 subscriber mark. So I am extremely happy for that. And it's a long road to 5,000. It's going to be a long road to 10,000. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I promise. We're going to get there. Let's see. Mandy Joe is saying, is there anyone else dancing and thinking about join? I think it's probably joining or joking Broadway. Little Messy's in the room. She says, what's up? She says, what's with the hat? It's not a Red Sox. So my hat, I can't get up because I always do my shows in my boxer shorts. So I am not getting up to show you. But let's see if I can peek behind. Actually, you can see the shoes are right over my right shoulder here, right on the top. Okay. With the orange, I just picked those up. And those are SC Nike trainers. And who was famous for bringing kind of some commercialization to those shoes. If you go back and you look, Bo Jackson. And today I actually got to wear them. I had them when I was a kid. And I said, I either want to get, because they're his college colors, which was the Auburn University. And I said, well, I want to try to find an Auburn University hat. If not, just because he played baseball for the Kansas City Royals, I thought I'd grab a Royals hat to kind of complete the whole look-she. So that's why I got the blue on. I love the blue. It's a nice color for me. It brings out that color in my eyes, But yeah, so that's that. Carrie Hole's in the house. She says, smash that like button. Exactly. Bo knows. Yep. Those old commercials. Yep. Auburn Tigers and Royals. Perfect. Yes. So that's why I got the blue on. Love the blue. My Red Sox hat is right there, actually. I'm looking at it. But I wanted to wear the blue for the show tonight. Kind of mix it up and go from there. Chosen Rosen's in the house. What up, dude? How are you, man? Hope everything's well. Did you guys catch the Drunk Turkey show last night? What did you guys think of that? Did you have a lot of fun over there if you got to catch the show? I'm super excited to collab with those guys. Publicly Buzzed was with us as well, Steve and Dan. That was a lot of fun to see those guys and get to hang out and kind of meet them. So uh, I want to definitely do more shows with them in the future. And, I mentioned on the panel last night, I said, look, maybe we can do kind of a round table every month, like once a month. We all get together respectively on our different channels and host like a big kind of mega panel for all of you guys. Um, I think it'd be really cool. And it's really exciting. And just to get all the different perspectives and ideas together. So Crazy Peas in the house. What's up, dude? How are you? Or woman? I'm not sure. Could be a man, could be a woman. Chosen Rosen said, great show, lots of opinions and points of view. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I left that show last night with major brain melt. And I literally, I couldn't come back to it today. I need like a 24-hour period to kind of process everything. But we're going to do more Koberger stuff tomorrow night. There's been some new stuff that has come out, and I'm going to kind of process everything that I took away from Drunk Turkey Show and talk a little bit about that tomorrow night. And I'm thinking about actually pulling up the affidavit again and just kind of going through and seeing if there's anything in there that I missed or might have missed, or things that we can take a look at. Because I remember looking in the arrest warrant, there was a name that we totally passed by, and it was of a neighbor that made a statement. I'm sorry, not the neighbor, the ride share that gave Kaylee and Maddie the ride home. The name was there, and it was just like something. I was like, wow, we didn't even see that before. So really crazy stuff. George says, how's it going? How are you, man? Thanks for joining on this Saturday night. I know it's kind of an off night, but I felt like getting in a stream because I don't want to sit around at home and do nothing. I want to be productive and get this channel out there. Let's see. We got Chloe's mom is in the house. She said, hear from Drunk Turkey. It's a great idea. Maybe more than once a month. Yeah, we have to see what happens. I know that everybody kind of has respectively their format that they're trying to keep to. But if I ever see any of those guys in the chat, I'll drop the link for them. They can come hang out. I want to get to know Steve a little bit better. I'd love to go do some stuff on his channel and have him over here. And it's all about giving us exposure and kind of building that crime community. And that was kind of my whole thing about doing that and having that, doing that collab. And I think it's a great idea, to have a big panel and get really great opinions and some ideas. And I learned a lot of stuff last night being on there. I learned a lot of stuff last night about being on there. Newman's in the house. How are you? Good to see you here. So what I want to do tonight for tonight's show is we're going to talk and kind of get away from Koberger for the night, kind of have just kind of a very casual Saturday hangout. And what I want to talk about is this Stephen McDaniel's case that happened back in 2011. And it's such, I meant to do these I wanted to do this on Thursday nights, kind of these throwback Thursday shows. But, we bumped this one up because I've had it planned for a while. And so, well, this would be a perfect night to kind of relax a little bit on the Koberger stuff, let that process, and then just come back and just do something a little bit different. So as you guys know, we do Serial Killer Tuesdays, where we pick a new, infamous serial killer, kind of look over their case. We just had an awesome show the other night on Ted Bundy. You guys had a lot of fun with that, and just going back and looking a lot of the old court footage and seeing Ted kind of in court and defending himself, and then ultimately seeing his last interview right up hours before his execution. So that was a really great time to go back and kind of go over that case again. And the next one I have planned is Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. So we're going to go through that. And then kind of on Thursdays, we'll do like a throwback Thursday and just look at just some really one-off weird cases to go over. We'll probably do Chris Watts, and I have the Colonel up in Canada. His name is slipping my mind right now, but I have that planned for next Thursday. Let me look in this chat right here. Scott Turner says, dude, I don't want to hear email news. You have not once come up with anything new. You piggyback for content. My 10-year-old could do it. Well, then have your 10-year-old start a channel. Great for stopping in. I appreciate you. And thanks for the view, by the way. Really cool. Live is looking in. She says, good evening. Let's see. Chosen Rosen saying, doing well, thank you. Just having some fun there in the chat. So MRG says smash that live button. So cool. So what we'll do here tonight is do the we'll talk about Stephen McDaniels. And if you guys don't know about that, and I'm sure you probably do because we're all true crimers, we love, going back and looking at all these cases. But I'll bring up just kind of the wiki on this and we'll read through it. And then I have about an hour presentation that Explore This channel did a really intense kind of hour segment on this whole case so we can get kind of a feeling for it. And then I actually have his interview when he talked to media the morning after, and he kind of talks like this. He's kind of weird. And then the interviewer actually asked him, do you know about the body that they found? And he went, body. And he knew at that point he was sunk. So we'll see that. We're going to play through that interview as well. It's very fascinating and just weird and macabre. So Chloe's mom says, I'm glad that you're revisiting these cases because sometimes the details get forgotten. Absolutely. And let's see, Live Lives become a new channel member. Thank you so much for your channel membership. Let's look over here and give her the tone. The new member tone. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, cool. So we'll keep playing on here. Yeah, let's be kind. Listen, if the show's not for you, you don't have to watch. It's not a problem. There's the out button. You can go. It's all right. But we continue on with the show here. We continue on with the show. So let's do this. So we'll look through, and it is the murder of Lauren Giddings. And the murder of Lauren Giddings was perpetrated by Stephen McDaniel on June 26, 2011 in I think it's Macon, Georgia. The victim, Lauren Giddings, was a recent graduate of Mercer Law School. McDaniel pled guilty to murder in 2014. So basically goes into the case, little synopsis of the case. McDaniels and Giddings lived in neighboring apartments and were former classmates of Mercer University. According to McDaniels, at 4:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 26, 2011, he used a master key to gain access to Giddings' apartment, wearing a mask and gloves, and McDaniel strangled her to death with his hands in her bedroom. The next day, he dismembered her body in the bathroom with a hacksaw. Jesus. Most of Giddings' remains were discarded in a dumpster on campus. However, the torso was thrown in a trash can outside the apartment, and that's where you see him kind of in that infamous interview where she says, did you hear about the body they found? And he went, body. And it was just really strange. And he said, I think he actually says, like, from what I remember, he goes, I feel really sick. I need a moment to sit down. And I think he felt really sick in the sense of that he knew he was caught. I think he knew that it was over for him. So during the investigation, Giddings was reported missing on June 30th, and her torso was subsequently discovered that day. McDaniel did an interview with WGXA, claiming to be concerned friend of Giddings. During the interview, he learned that a torso had been recovered. On July 1st, McDaniels voluntarily went to the police office to give a statement about Giddings, and it was his interrogation lasted for over 12 hours, and his apartment was searched. He was placed in jail on July 2nd, where he would remain for the next month. In August, McDaniels was charged with murder. Investigators had linked several pieces of evidence to him, including the hacksaw used to dismember the body. The rest of Giddings' remains had never been found. It's just really, really sad. Let me just look at something really quick, guys. Okay. So the aftermath in 2014, McDaniels accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to murder. His deal required him to describe his account of the murder. In exchange, he would avoid the death penalty. The judge also dismissed additional charges discovered in the investigation, including 1 count of burglary and 30 counts of sexual exploitation of children. Yes, because I think that he was found with child, on his computer. And he'll be, I can't believe that this guy would be eligible for parole in 2041. To even have that opportunity after taking a life is just really disgusting. And you know, he's never going to get out. But in 2018, McDaniel's father, Mark McDaniel, started a GoFundMe campaign to raise for his legal expenses needed for appeal. The page was promptly taken down. Thank you very much, GoFundMe. Stephen McDaniel represented himself in court, and they're urging for a retrial in 2018. He stated that his constitutional rights were violated and he was not medically cleared before giving consent for searches. In his legal research was intercepted by the district attorney, and the attorney's office did not adequately represent him. He also filed a malpractice complaint against his former attorney. The judge denied the appeal. On May 30th, 2022, other habeas corpus petitions was filed by McDaniels claiming documents for defense trial preparation was stolen by the district attorney. In his petition, he requested his conviction to be overturned and that he be released from prison. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So let me just look here in the chat really quick. Gail says, hello, Gail. Good to see you. Kerry was just saying, you know, hey, we had a rude person in the room. Hey, it happens. Not everybody's going to like my show. That's perfectly fine. They don't have to watch. The exit door is that way, but we're going to keep going through our show. We move on. Yeah, completely. And it's strange because they said during his first interview, they said he was like so outgoing. And then once the police went back and actually drove him back to the police station after the body had been found, he went into like a zombie-like stage, and you'll see that during the interview. And he goes into this, I don't know. No, I don't know. And it's really odd. And he stares completely forward for like 12 hours in the interrogation. It's crazy. Yeah. Chosen says this guy had a ton of photos on his computer of the girl and videotaped the woman through her windows. Yeah, he was videotaping her, I think just hours before he actually went in and killed her. And I think that he gained access from her apartment from getting like a master key through the maintenance department, and all the tools that he used were down from the maintenance department. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Jeff Lane says, great show. Sad though. Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this. Do you guys want me to play? Let's play the interview first, the news interview, and then we'll actually play the segment that I found on Explore Us. And it's really fascinating. But let's play through the news segment first. I'll cue that up. We can watch that. Let's see. Here's the interview. Let's play that really quick. Oops, I'm trying to get my windows all correct. The video's kind of bad, but we'll actually, let me just pop my headphones on real quick so it don't get bleed through in the speakers, and we'll rock and roll with this.
No one's heard from her since.
And did you see her hang out with anyone at the time or anything like that?
No one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I've always heard noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I we were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see?
She's as nice as can be. Very personable.
Now, if you haven't seen this, just be aware there's going to be a twist that comes really quick. And when she says, do you know about the body that they found? And he goes, body. And that's the oh shit moment that he has because he knows he's caught.
Well, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. The only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. The door was locked when everyone got here. We just don't know where she is.
What about in the the parking lot area. I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Right here.
Had you heard? Had you seen anything there?
Sorry, I just talked. Let me go back.
Area. I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you heard? Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
You know, he needs to sit down because he knows he's caught. That's oh shit moment right there. It'll queue up when they come back here. Here he goes.
You've been studying for the bar?
So now he has had that oh shit moment because now her body has been discovered, and he sits, and they cut it out because he goes, I think I need to sit down, and then he comes back, and now keep in mind now he knows that he's gonna get caught.
Seen her since Saturday because we all just, there's not a whole lot of interaction unless we're doing classes.
Right.
And she was doing the online version of it.
You all studied together though?
We were in, it's two different.
Now he's worked up because she said the police found a body, and he went, body? And he went, I gotta sit down, because he knows he's dead in the water now. And now he's kind of faking it in this portion of the interview.
There's two companies that provide it. Kaplan provides it and Barbary provides it. I signed up with Barbary, and I've been doing the lectures that they have in the mornings. She was doing the Kaplan online, so I hardly ever saw her. I would see her go out running, but
What time would you go out running?
I don't even know when.
At night or morning?
I saw her midday a couple weeks ago. That was the last time I saw her, was coming back from the bar prep on the main campus, because we got moved over there for a week or two.
But she normally would run. That was
Yeah, that's right.
She ran all the time.
Way too much detail.
She had a group that she would go running with.
I mean, that's telling you right there that this dude was stalking every movement that she had. And the funny thing is, she had been reporting to her friends that she felt like something was coming into her apartment. That was him. She was actually, I think, scheduled to move out like 2 weeks. 2 weeks like after this had happened. She had given her notice, I believe, to move out because she was getting freaked out.
I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today.
Oh,
she was supposed to move out today.
She was supposed to move out.
Someone else was going to be moving into her apartment in the new law school.
Do you know if she was like, where is she from? Is she from Maryland?
Yeah, she's from up in Maryland.
Can I just put this on you so we can hear you? Is that all right?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. And you can just hold on to that. Thank you. Yeah, she's from Maryland.
Yeah, she was from up in Maryland. All her family was there, as far as I know.
What's going on in your mind right now? Like, what are you thinking?
That I'm going to jail for a long time.
Why would anyone do this?
You didn't hear anything?
No. I just heard something. Maybe I could have helped.
Yeah, man.
Okay, don't worry. Do you want to sit down for a second? Get something to drink? Do you know if a bunch of her friends are getting together or anything?
That's how I found out that she was missing. A bunch of her friends came over yesterday night around midnight, and they couldn't they hadn't seen her since Saturday, so they were trying to find out where she was.
So they were knocking on neighbors' doors and stuff.
No, they went in. They had a key to her apartment, and they checked around. Didn't see anything out of place. It was locked when everyone got there.
That was midnight.
Yeah, around midnight, and then we went over to law school, see if maybe she was over in the library studying or something. And we looked up in the study rooms on the third floor, and there was no one there. And we came back, we looked around, and just trying to find anything to figure out where she was.
She doesn't have any family in Georgia?
I don't know. As far as I know, all of her family is from in Maryland.
Have you met her family before?
There was one time that I met them. They came down first year. She had a little dog, a little brown dog that
this guy knows way too many details about her.
He would exercise out in front of the law school, and it got hit as she was coming across the road. I heard the car hit it and ran out, and she was there crying, and thankfully there was someone who came along who knew a vet or something, and they helped that, and her family came down.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I think a couple weeks after that or something. I met them just briefly,
right.
But
boyfriend?
we've been trying to figure out. She has a boyfriend up in Atlanta, but someone called him, and he hadn't heard from her. No one could figure out where she was.
Who was the last person to be with her? You said that somebody had seen her on Saturday?
Yeah, she went over to a couple friends' house, Garen Mueller and Joe Cairns. They live over on Walnut, and they said that she was over there in the morning, and then that was the last time that anyone we've been able to find out from had seen her.
She hadn't mentioned what she was going to do that day or anything?
Joe, he got onto her computer last night to see if she had said anything. She'd sent an email out to some people that afternoon talking about like going out to eat or something.
This guy knows way too much details. Hello.
And the last thing that there was an email that she sent out after 10 that night where she sent to, I think it was someone in Atlanta, a friend of hers in Atlanta, and she said that
call 911.
She was afraid in her apartment that she thought someone had tried to break in on Thursday night, and she was afraid to stay in there. But
yeah, easy.
Where did you hear that from?
It's every detail. I know, it's every detail.
He pulled it up, and we read it off the screen.
She had said that to a friend in Atlanta?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but...
And you hadn't heard anything on Thursday night?
No.
She never came to tell you anything?
No, if she had, I could have done something. I could have lent her a handgun. I've got a little handgun that I have for defense. And something. If she was afraid in her apartment, then get her out of there.
Is that her?
That's what she said in the email. She thought that someone had tried to break into her apartment. She said, like, Macon hoodlums tried to break into my apartment on Thursday night.
Is that her car parked there?
Yeah, he looks like that Simpson character with like the crazy hair. Sideshow Bob, I think. I think that might be it. Let me see. Let me Google it. I think it's Sideshow. Yeah, Sideshow Bob. He looks just like him. Oh my God, the guy is. Oh my God, wait till I show you this picture. Holy shnikes. Hang on. The first picture I grab. Look at this. He's got a freaking knife in his hand. What the hell, man? This dude has a knife in his hand. What? Oh my God. Body. I mean, look it. I don't want to poke. We're having a little fun here, but let's keep in mind that someone brutally lost their life because of this scumbag.
No, no. I think that's the detective's car, Detective
her car's not
Patterson.
even there?
No, it was here earlier, and they towed it. I mean, it'd been there days, and
Yeah, it
then
was a
they
hacksaw.
towed it to, I guess, look through, see if there was. Yeah.
How did you find out that something was wrong with the police here? Was it like when you walked up a little while ago? Or?
No, I mean, the police were called last night, and they came and they looked around. They didn't see anything. I mean, they went in. We looked around the place. No sign of a struggle. No sign that anyone had broken in.
This guy knows way too many
nothing.
details.
Just she was gone. I mean, all of her stuff was there. Her ID was there. Her wallet was there, but she was just gone.
Dr. Bob, hello, Dr. Bob. I think that's it. We might have a little bit more here. Hang on, and then we'll play the episode from the Explore with Us channel. It's really good. This might be. Oh, we got a little bit.
Come home and see the police here?
No, I was here this morning. I couldn't hardly sleep. I was up until early hours, and then I got home and I just collapsed. And then this morning they knocked on my door. They were looking around trying to find anything.
He's like, I didn't put anything in the dumpster.
A few of the other friends, Burpee and Garen and Ashley.
No.
They were here. They were here last night, and they'd come back this morning. I just went out and talked with them, and then they moved us all over to the side, and they bussed us all down to the department and kept us there until I got back just a little while ago. And, yeah, they took statements trying to find out if anyone had seen anything, if anyone had heard anything when the last time anyone saw it was.
No, they haven't confirmed, at least not with us, that it was Lauren that they found. Are you holding out any hope right now?
I hope
that I don't get caught.
If they found it on the property somewhere.
You hadn't heard anything about a body until you were talking to us earlier?
No. As far as any of us knew, they were still trying to just find her. I mean, we got an email this morning from some people that live on the other side of Kroger, on the other side of the river, that they had seen her in the past running in that area. We thought maybe someone had snatched her over there, or maybe she got hurt or something.
All right, that's it for that interview. All right, let's pull up the episode from Explore with Us. It's really good, and it gives us kind of the whole background to the case and how, you know, we got from that interview basically to this guy being the guy. So here we go.
Why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't know.
Talked about he went into like this zombie, I don't know, and just kind of sat and did these weird head turns, like very robotic, just weird.
What are you going to say tomorrow when I say we got your hair with the body? Look at all that on your head. You don't think nothing fell out? It did. Your hair is there. Your hair is there, man.
When Lauren Giddings, a recent graduate from law school, goes missing, the town of Macon, Georgia halts to a stop as her friends and family try desperately to find her. But within hours, an unlikely suspect emerges, not because of a plethora of evidence, but because of his own freak out on air while cameras are rolling. The majority of the following photos, videos, and more have never been seen before. 27-year-old Lauren Giddings was reported missing on June 30th, 2011. But by then, she had already been gone for 4 days. She was a student in Mercer Law who just graduated the month prior. At the time of her disappearance, she was preparing to take the bar exam, and then she would have become a defense attorney. But tragically, she never got the chance. Little did she know, a killer had been watching her.
Yeah, this is the actual video that this dude took of her, like of her apartment. He was filming it.
Her every move. The only hint that something had been wrong was one incident, but one that she had easily dismissed. Lauren told her sister, Caitlin Wheeler, that after returning to her apartment following a trip, she thought that some of her things had been moved around, as though someone had been in there while she was gone.
Are you interested in creating a second income stream but barely have any spare time? Look, check this out. I get paid around...
Check it out.
But she had no proof, just a feeling, and she eventually dismissed it. But that would prove to be a grave mistake. The summer of her graduation, Lauren's sister got married, and she took a few weeks off to spend time with her loved ones. But following the wedding, Lauren told her family and friends that she would be studying non-stop for the bar to make up for the lost time. With this in mind, they weren't too concerned when they didn't hear from her for a few days. But the days stretched on, and still there were no calls, emails, or answered texts.
She turned him down. He asked her, I think after like maybe the second or third time of them meeting, he asked her out, and she was very nice. She said that she was very nice and declined and just said, no, I think we're just better as friends. And that's when he got pissed.
Sister was the first one to realize something was terribly wrong. On June 29th, she reached out to Lauren's friends at Mercer and began to piece together that not only had no one heard from her, but they also hadn't seen her in days. What is especially chilling is that according to her calendar, Lauren was due to move out from her apartment the next day, on June 30th. Her car was still parked in her parking space, and after Lauren's friends heard from her sister, they decided to look for her and search her apartment. Her friends got in using a key they knew she kept in a white glass vase on a table outside her door. Checking her computer, they uncovered an email she sent revealing that she thought someone had tried to break into her apartment on the Thursday night before she vanished. Eerily, her ID and keys, including the other apartment key, were all inside, as though Lauren had come home and...
This is crazy. I've actually never seen this body cam footage before.
Locked the door behind her and then vanished. Lauren's family didn't live nearby, so her father drove that night to Macon to speak to police, and a missing persons report was officially filed for Lauren 4 days after she was last heard from. There were no witnesses. It was just a matter of interviewing anybody who lived at that apartment complex, or anyone who knew Lauren, with the hope of finding someone who knew what could have happened to her. Little did the police know, the case would have its prime suspect in only 12 hours of investigating. One of her friends, Ashley Morehouse, gave an emotional account to an officer about the last time she saw Lauren.
When was the last time you've actually physically seen Lauren?
It would be early Saturday morning at about 4 a.m. That Friday night, we went out to the bar, and she came back to my boyfriend's place to stay for the evening.
Did you see Lauren when you woke up that morning?
No.
You're just assuming she was there?
Yes.
Did you ever see her or talk to her again?
No.
Ashley was one of the first people who alerted the authorities to Lauren's disappearance. Lauren's next-door neighbor and law school classmate, 25-year-old.
Yeah, they were pretty bad, and there's actually the first guy, the heavyset guy, if you go and watch the actual interrogation, he kind of like leans back in his chair at this one point, and it's like you can tell that chair is just holding on for dear life to not break. They might, they might show like that in this, but the interrogation, the clip that you see, you can find it online. It's about 2 hours, and he just does this. I don't know. This whole weird thing, and you're going to see that.
Stephen McDaniel also spoke briefly with an officer.
How long have you lived next to Lauren?
Since I started law school back in, it'd be August of 2008, I think.
When was the last time you think you seen Lauren?
It was either last week or the week before that.
Okay. Is there anything that you could tell me today or add to your statement that could help me locate Lauren?
I can't think of anything.
Stephen, along with Lauren's other neighbors and friends, were then asked to go to the police station to give their statements. As the two had lived side by side for years, Stephen was the perfect person to ask if he had heard or seen anything that may be helpful to the case.
I just want to clarify some things about your statement.
I asked you to come down here today because you're Lauren's next door neighbor, right?
Yeah.
And,
Okay, so this is the first time that they speak with him, and you'll see that he's very cooperative. And then the second time, after they find the body and they bring him back, he goes into this zombie trance state.
You told me in your statement that you've been home all week, right? All weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody come and visit you while you were home?
No.
You didn't have no friends over?
Mm-mm.
Anybody see you this weekend that you've been home?
I don't know.
I had asked you in your statement because I've asked everyone that lives in that apartment complex if it would be all right for us to search their apartment. Give me consent to search.
Yeah.
The body language of him pulling away from the police officer at this point. Look at his position. When he said, I want, search your apartment, he went very defensive right away.
Ask that I would be there and that no one's going to search your apartment without you being present, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in your statement, you stated that you didn't want me to do that.
Together.
I've got several firearms that I own.
It isn't terribly surprising to hear that a law student would refuse to consent to search. However, what is unusual is that Stephen would continue to consent to police interviews without legal representation.
And I don't want other people.
Well, how many firearms do you have?
Thank you, man.
I've got a semi-automatic rifle, and then I've got 2 handguns as well.
Well, you understand that we're trying to locate Lauren. She's missing. And you stated that you're willing to do anything to help me.
If I can help, I will, but...
By helping me, I've asked everyone there, and everyone in the apartment complex has agreed, except you.
It's the lawyer in me, I suppose. What can I say? I just needed to know.
I can't with this cop leaning back in the chair. I just can't. It just looks like that chair is holding on for dear life.
Reasoning behind you not doing it. You just are worried that I'm going to mess with your firearms if you're standing there?
Nah, I'm always just protective of my space.
Did you hurt your nose or something?
Where?
The red mark on your nose right there. How'd you get that red mark on your nose?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a mirror?
Yeah, I'll show you. How'd you get this mark down here on your chin?
Place I've been picking at.
So you don't want me looking in your apartment?
They actually, when they take him in and photograph him, they find scratch marks, I believe, near his ribs.
At all.
Defensive wound.
This game, you're not ready.
After some convincing, the officer eventually inspected Stephen's apartment, looking for any sign of Lauren. Although they didn't find her, they began to notice Stephen's behavior was growing increasingly odd. Police reported that he was sweating profusely and rapidly drank multiple bottles of water. When someone encounters a threat and they go into fight or flight mode, they may experience a dry mouth as well as an increase in sweating. In fight or flight, the body shifts fluids from one part of the body, like the mouth, to other parts of the body, such as sweat glands. The police continued to comb through the neighboring apartments, and Stephen hung around the entire time. This was fairly unusual, as there were only a few reasons why Stephen would stay near the apartments all day. Maybe he was bored and had nothing else to do, but maybe he had another, more sinister reason to see if the police uncovered anything incriminating. In some cases, the perpetrator remains close to the investigation process due to an obsession, either with the victim or with the crime itself. They may at times enjoy the attention the case is receiving, so they stay close to observe the outcomes of their horrific actions. Observing all the attention the case is receiving also often makes the perpetrator feel important, especially if there's some sort of obsession at play.
I just want to pause really quick and ask this. I know I see a lot of people here that were over at the Drunk Turkey show last night. Anything that we talked about last night, has that changed any of your opinion of the case right now? Or are you pretty much the same? If you feel like circumstances in the case for you have changed, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like you're pretty much still at where you're at, put a 2. I'd like to see that. See how you feel.
Later, Stephen would claim that he'd been told by the authorities that his apartment wasn't released yet, so he couldn't stay there, but also that he couldn't leave the area. This is just the beginning of a series of well-thought-out contradictions. Either way, it was during this time that he was approached by a reporter who asked him about Lauren. Allegedly, Stephen also commented to other reporters in the area that he wished he'd given Lauren one of his guns so that she could have potentially protected herself.
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see her?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her.
It's notable that Stephen speaks mostly using we as the pronoun instead of I. This can be a red flag that the person talking doesn't want the focus to be on them. He may not want to single himself out in any way or draw attention to himself, so it feels safer to keep himself lumped in with the group.
Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but I mean, she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
This is the exact moment, caught on camera, that Stephen learns Lauren's body has been found, or rather, part of it. Note that Stephen repeats the word body, perhaps trying to buy himself more time to think. However, an alternative theory is that he was trying to behave how he thought someone would react when they found out their missing friend's body had been found. His reaction could potentially be seen as shock, as a friend learns that the person they've been searching for is actually dead. Or, more accurately, it's the very moment a killer finds out that the body they thought they'd cleverly disposed of is found. Far quicker than he expected, a carefully laid plan is already beginning to unravel, and he's just realized that very thing while on camera. Earlier, as police were searching for any sign of Lauren, they noticed a horrible smell coming from the garbage bins behind Barrister's Hall at Mercer University, across from the apartment complex where she lived. Around 9:40 a.m., they made the nightmarish discovery of a human torso, discarded along with the trash. In a strange twist of fate, the grim finding was a moment of pure luck. The garbage bin should have been picked up and emptied earlier that day, before investigators ever would have found the remains. However, that day, the garbage truck was running late.
Wow.
No matter what Stephen may have been thinking while talking to the reporter, the police had already noticed him hanging around and brought him back to the station to answer a few more questions. In this second interview,
Chosen, if you're talking Koberger, I completely agree. And I'll be honest with you, I think just everything, and I don't want to get too much into it tonight, but we're going to talk, obviously I have a Koberger show tomorrow night. But if you are talking about Koberger, I think it's very crucial. Again, like you say, very critical to see what I said that digital forensics, we haven't even seen that yet. The digital forensic DNA of all of the computers and the phones and all that. I was reading an article today. Investigators are looking back, and I was going to talk about this tomorrow, but I'll break it right now. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard this, but there was an article I read today that they are looking back to see if he had contact. There's possible contact with one of the 3 girls a year prior to when he got there. So there is a possibility of that. I was reading an article today, and that's something that they're looking into right now. And I think that's why they pulled all of that social media contact, all of that, those emails, there were multiple email addresses. It could be possible, but the big stick for me, and I'm going to tell you, the big stick for me in this now is that car. If they don't find anything in that car, he's walking free. He's going to be a walking free man. I think that's what it's going to come down to now. And the thing, that's really frustrating in all of this, and I said this yesterday, when we heard about this case, it felt like it was taking forever, and weeks were, days were turning into a week, and then a week was turning into 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, 4, and it was turning into weeks. And now, and then after that, it seemed like it was going to be months. And all of a sudden, it was like, we have the guy. And it was almost kind of like, or we have the guy that we allegedly think did this. And it was kind of like one of those, yeah, they got him. And then it's like, I want to know everything about this person and see who this person is. And, we're kind of sitting here and we're saying, all right, well, he's in jail and he's been caught, and we'll have some things to go over and, look through the probable cause, affidavits, and all the documents are being released. But it just feels like as we're getting closer to the trial, things are starting to fall apart. And that makes me very, very nervous. And look, if BK's innocent, then he doesn't deserve to be in jail. And I've always said that on this channel. He deserves his day in court. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And he deserves his day in court. And I'm sure his lawyer or lawyers are fighting like hell for him right now. But that Brady Giglio it makes me a little bit nervous. I don't want to say shady activity. I just think it's a lot of non-protocol. You got to think, very small town. A lot of those things, police procedures, don't go as by policy. They're not under the big scrutiny of like a big city like New York City and all that. And listen, I generally believe in 99.9999% of law enforcement. There are some bad law enforcement and law enforcement agencies out there and departments. I generally see the good in law enforcement. We just had a amazing, heroic, I guess I wouldn't say feat, but heroism in Nashville, Tennessee, where we had a couple of cops that took a lead on an active shooter and didn't hesitate and went in and neutralized the threat within 15 minutes. Those are heroes. Those people should be celebrated right now. You're not even hearing anything about that. It's just really strange. But I'll be honest with you. Being on Drunk Turkey last night kind of melted my brain a little bit. And it was even crazier backstage when we went live off. When we went off air, we talked for about another hour, and Daniel was just throwing all these things at me. And I was like, my brain is mush. I don't know. I don't know what to where I am, what's going on here. This should, to me, be like a slam dunk. Hey, we have all this evidence, we have this, we have that. And it's like, everything is just getting eroded as we get closer to June. And it's like, come on, can we just fast forward and get there and get this through the trial process and see what happens? It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's celebrate this. Candace has become a new member of the channel. Candace, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Let's play the new. Let's see. I'm sure you guys typed a lot. Yeah, I think this is a great statement right here. Moscow PD was not equipped to handle this. I truly believe that, and that's something that we talked about backstage after the show last night. And I think that's why the FBI became involved, because it was so over their head. And I think there was a lot of poor police work in gathering the evidence in this case. And I think that it's going to have a lot there for the defense to attack. Let me just read through here and pull up some points. Yeah, there's good cops everywhere, and there's, unfortunately there's a few out there, or a percentage that are bad and get caught, and they do bad things, and if they do, then they deserve to go to jail. you know Heavy Metal Rehab says, I have never been a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I have even wondered if BK did this crime in this area to help expose the corruption. I would find that maybe a little unlikely. But again, I stick to how I feel on my channel. That's why you ladies and gentlemen, come here. I'm a little mucked up right now. I still think that they have the right guy, but I think that there is just a lot to still sort through, and a lot of poor police work. And I think that's why we're in this position right now. So let's celebrate this. Janet has become a new channel member. I appreciate your membership. It does help support the channel. Thank you so much. You, and thanks for watching and being here on this Saturday night. Yeah, I've always said that everybody is always innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Yeah, I'm a little mind funked. I am. Yeah, it's just mush. It's been a little mush. It's been like overload, and it's just every day it's something new that's coming into this, and it's hard sometimes to process and go, what the hell? Lollipop says, great content. Found my way here by way of publicly buzzed. Well, thank you so much for coming over and chilling on the channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you guys can give me a couple of thumbs up there and smash that like button, that would be great too. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're waiting for the trial. 100%. All right, let's keep playing through this. All right. We'll talk Koberger tomorrow, I promise.
Things take an interesting turn immediately.
Now this is going to be the zombie experience here. This is weird.
And Stephen's reaction to the detective is far less confident. Now that suspicion has fallen so thoroughly onto him, Stephen will use his knowledge as a law student to try and wiggle his way out of giving the police any more information. And the result is unsettling, to say the least.
You know Detective Patterson, right?
Yes.
Do you remember? Put your hands up here. You remember us talking earlier tonight, right?
Yes.
I want to just recognize, I can't pull it up because it doesn't show, but we'll recognize Dr. Bob has gifted a membership in it. Mandy Joe is now a channel member. Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. That's very kind of you. Let's play Mandy Joe, the new member tone. Oh, thank you so much. Give her a little round of applause. You guys are awesome. That's very nice.
Remember me earlier in the day?
Yes.
When we came down here and talked a little bit and then we left?
Yes.
Okay. I need to know
Yeah.
about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes.
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay?
This is so cringy.
Was you friends with her?
Yes.
Close friends?
We were good.
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Both of
Yes.
y'all are law students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes.
Civil? Is that what you want to do for a living?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll notice that there's been a distinct shift in Stephen's behavior. During the first interview, when he refused the search of his apartment, Stephen gave a lengthy explanation and talked openly with the detective about the types of firearms he owned. He used frequent hand gestures and appeared to believe he could just talk his way out of the search. The detectives would have noted his behavior.
So Firefly, she received her mug. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Really cool. I'm glad that you got it. Thank you for letting me know that it got to you safely. And when Christine gets in here, hopefully tomorrow night or tonight, I just got to get her address so I can send out her mug too. So awesome. I'm so glad that you got that. Enjoy it. You can sip away and be opinionated when you when you drink your favorite beverage out of it. So thank you.
During that first interview, when there was less pressure on him as his baseline, essentially how he acts when he is telling the truth. When someone's behavior changes significantly during an interrogation, detectives will see this as a red flag for possible deception. It doesn't always mean that the suspect is guilty of the crime, but there is a reason for this shift in behavior, and detectives will try to figure out what it is. If Stephen was consistent in only giving one-word answers and used a monotone voice across both interviews, his odd behavior could have been written off as normal for him. It could have been just part of his personality or how he speaks. However, the significant deviation from his baseline behavior is a red flag. Something, possibly fear of being caught, has triggered him to act completely differently from how he was earlier.
Are you almost finished?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have too much more to do, right?
No.
All right. Are you going to stay here in Macon?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you used to work at the district attorney's office in Macon?
Yes.
Was you on the prosecutor side or the defense side?
Prosecutor.
So you were on our side.
Yes.
Yes.
Stephen had worked in the DA's office before graduating from law school just 1 month earlier, at the same time as Lauren. At this point, he's not yet taken the bar exam. Stephen may be deliberately answering with one-word answers because it's safer, and he wants to avoid giving unnecessary or possibly incriminating information that could be used against him later. However, part of the reason for his short responses could be due to the type of questions he's being asked. The detective is using closed-ended questions, which often limits what the other person can say. The detective may have been able to get Stephen to talk more if he'd asked open-ended questions, such as, what was your relationship like with Lauren? What did you and Lauren like to do together? What was your last interaction with her like? With these types of questions, it's difficult for a suspect to just say yes or no. While closed-ended questions can be helpful when police are trying to find out specific facts, open-ended questions are better when trying to gather information, such as here.
And you lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No.
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 Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
No.
What is most interesting is the question of why is he still talking with investigators at this point?
Right.
Clearly, he understands how to invoke his right.
I always say this, if anybody's ever put in a position where you're being questioned, especially for a serious crime, you need the lawyer up right away.
To remain silent, and yet he doesn't.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
The detective emphasizes these questions by invading Stephen's personal space and raising the picture of Lauren. This is an attempt to elicit empathy from Stephen, as it's hard to look into the face of someone if you've hurt them. At first, the detective may have been attempting to build rapport by sitting close and acting a bit buddy-buddy with him, such as patting Stephen on the shoulder, but this evolves into not allowing him to physically escape from his direct scrutiny. Still, Stephen does.
That guy in the pink shirt, I remember like during his interrogations, like something about, you're like a little kid. He's like, we know that you did it. He's like, it's like you got the cookie all over your face. He's like, you're the kid that went to the cookie jar and took the cookie. Do you want to take that cookie?
Doesn't shrink away. Most people would be quite uncomfortable with someone unfamiliar that close. However, it's important to remember when interpreting any of his behavior or actions that Stephen is likely familiar.
Stephen, why would you do that? And then I think he made a mask out of like Lauren's underwear too. It's very bizarre. Very, very bizarre.
With typical police techniques.
Stephen!
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you even care that no one can find her?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, do you?
Yes.
He may believe that police have no real evidence tying him to Lauren's disappearance, so as long as he appears at least somewhat cooperative, he will be in the clear. However, when a suspect only provides one-word answers, detectives usually see this as the person being guarded, which is a red flag for deception. Stephen's answer here is a stark contrast to earlier in the day, only about 6 hours before. when he told the reporter that he thought Lauren could have been snatched.
Crazy.
The only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her.
Notice that when the officer is talking to him, Stephen maintains that intense eye contact he had with the reporter, checking to see if he's being believed. Though it's clear suspicion has fallen heavily onto Stephen, he isn't the only person police interviewed. They also spoke to David Van Diver, Lauren's boyfriend.
Are you a low-income American on food stamps or Medicaid? If so, you are.
Yes, sir. This is your girlfriend. I understand. Okay.
And it's crazy. I've never even seen any of this footage before either. I don't even think that's out on YouTube.
Because we can't find her. Okay. And we found a body. We don't know if it's her or not. I just heard that. This coworker told me on the way down. All right. So I need your help. You've got it. Well, somebody knows something. Now I'm asking you, do you know anybody that she might been seeing besides you?
This is
so this, if you're asking who this is, Mandy, I'm not sure. This is the boy. This would be her boyfriend.
Commonly called the wedge driving. It's similar to the prisoner's dilemma, but is used to elicit an emotional response in a suspect in relation to a victim. The couple appeared to have a long-distance relationship, one that was occasionally on and off. The detective quickly narrows in on this fact, suggesting that the two had problems in their relationship. Notice the difference in David's body language compared to Stephen's. David is leaned forward, and his body is frontally aligned with the detective, meaning his torso and legs are pointing toward the officer. He looks engaged in the conversation. Detectives trained under the Reed technique view this posture as being more in line with a truthful individual.
That's one thing I love about watching these specials when they, I wouldn't say like a special, but these segments, they actually, give you some insight as to how body language is and how it works, and just things to look for in body language. I find that really fascinating.
Rather than a deceptive one. Compare that to Stephen's rigid posture facing forward toward the table and away from the detective, which, according to the Reed technique, can be a red flag for deception. It's important to note that a suspect's posture alone cannot be used to make a determination about whether someone is lying or telling the truth. However, it's something detectives will take note of and may help guide them with their questioning.
So you're telling me the whole time you were going to California, you didn't call her, check in with her, or nothing? No. Then you land in Atlanta and just go back to your apartment or house, wherever you live in Atlanta, and you didn't even call her and tell her you were home or anything?
No, if you look at the email she sent me Saturday night, and this has been, you're talking about me not being married and all this stuff. When girls start to talk about commitment stuff, the email she sent me at 10:13 Saturday night started off, I literally read it while I was in the rental car, and I saw the first line. It goes, I just had an uncomfortable or awkward conversation with Garen, and I thought it was going to lead into a whole, he wants to know when y'all are getting married, stuff like that.
He's super engaged. His body language is very relaxed, like he's not hiding anything. He's being very forward in his conversation too. That's kind of what I'm picking up on right now.
So I just put it down. That I'm just like, I'm not ready for that, and I put the phone down.
Do you have a key to her apartment?
No, I'll have to check that out.
In fact,
it's a YouTube channel.
There was a running joke, if you will, that I came down here. I think it was summer of 2010, give or take. There was some band thing she wanted me to come down for. Came down, we all went out, had a great time. We got separated walking back, and she got back to her apartment before I did, and I banged on the door, and she was asleep.
I don't mean to laugh, but we keep talking about the chair and everything. There's an actual moment in the interrogation when he leans back for the first time, and the chair literally goes creak, and it just seems like it's just holding on for dear life.
And and the joke was, apparently I was the only one of her friends that did not know where that key was. I know where it is now.
Well, where is it now?
Where's the key?
No,
she's right there on the, it's a round table, if I recall, patio furniture. It's like a little ceramic thing.
And you don't know anybody that might want to harm her?
No, sir.
I'll check it out.
Are you worried about that being her?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
David rubs his head, likely a sign of stress, which is understandable given the situation. In addition to being concerned about his girlfriend, he may also be worried that police are suspicious of him. He may know that in most cases where a woman disappears or is killed, the partner is looked at first. Even if someone is innocent and logically knows that the truth is on their side, it doesn't mean they won't be concerned about being wrongfully accused. Eventually, David Van Diver is cleared of any suspicion and allowed to leave the police station. Stephen, on the other hand, has only managed to make himself appear more suspicious. The detective now reveals some of the reasons that they're focusing their attention on.
Look at the body language already compared to the boyfriend.
On him.
You said you didn't have any other cars, right?
Right.
Well, why would everybody you went to school with for the last 3 and 4 years said that you own another car other than that Geo Prism? Everybody I've talked to, all your friends you were in school with, people that you worked at the district attorney's office with said you have other cars other than that car. And you're going to sit here today and tell me you don't have another car?
I don't.
Well, where's it at?
I don't have one.
You never had another car besides that Geo Prism?
No.
So if I call your granddaddy, he's going to tell me that you only have one car?
Yes.
What's his phone number?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do, because I already have his number. You don't know his phone number?
No.
I mean, you seriously can't help us out?
His number is in my cell phone.
That's a start. Where's your cell phone?
At the apartment.
In your apartment?
One of the reasons the detectives are pressing Stephen about having another car is the security footage caught outside the apartment building where he and Lauren lived. It's blurry, so it's unclear exactly who is in the footage. But the detectives clearly suspect that it might be Lauren's killer.
What's up with the pair of underwear that was in your apartment?
Yeah, this is odd.
It was like a mask. It was cut out like a mask. You cut underwear out to look like a mask?
No.
What do you think happened to her?
I think someone took her.
Now, when confronted, Stephen gives the same answer he told the reporter earlier, but his voice has shifted dramatically into a flat tone, devoid of all emotion.
Well, you know there was a body found in the trash can next to the apartments.
Yes.
You do know that. And it's a female, white female's body. Right there. Right next to y'all's apartment. Feet from her apartment. We don't know 100% sure it's Lauren. But we're pretty confident it is. I mean, who would do something to somebody and throw them in a trash can?
I don't know.
I'm asking for your advice or your observation. Who in your complex would do something like that? You lived over there for 3 years.
I don't know.
Tonight's the first night I think I've ever been over there.
By asking the suspect to speculate as to the narrative of the crime, the investigator is looking for any facts, especially inconsistent or unpublicized facts, that might create an opening for more direct lines of questioning.
In your expert opinion, of all your knowledge of going through law school and all that, who in that complex do I need to talk to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
This type of question is commonly taught in the Reed technique. The detective likely knows that typically people who commit horrific murders have antisocial personality disorder. Individuals with this personality disorder are typically
We got them French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm.
very grandiose, which means that they love to be admired and praised by others for having what they believe
Got them French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm.
are superior qualities. Being called an expert by the detective would certainly play on a perpetrator's grandiose beliefs about themselves and make it more likely that they will respond. However, it doesn't work with Stephen. Also, an important note to keep in mind is that if Stephen suffered from severe and untreated mental illness, it's unlikely that as a law student he would make it through the years of intensive coursework and field training, which
He says,
You better call the police or a morgue, whatever one wants to come first. Mm-hmm.
He has. Throughout the interrogation so far, he's barely moved. This stands out against the norm in the interrogation room. People don't sit completely still. They shift, move their...
What a great movie, though. Sling Blade, amazing movie.
...hands when they talk and cross their legs.
Yeah, or
he may be trying to not give them anything to use against him, but in the process, he's looking more suspicious.
Now, why are you acting like this? I need to know. Why all of a sudden you're acting like this?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Okay. Earlier today, we sat here and talked.
That shit.
But now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. I mean, did something happen or something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back to that line. You better call a chaplain or a Hearst. Mm-hmm.
Do you? I mean, why are you shutting down? Why are you not talking to me?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you scared?
Yes, AZ's got it.
I mean, you're not scared, are you?
No.
Since Stephen's shift in behavior has been so...
I could use a few more of them cans of potted meat if you got any extra. Mm-hmm.
abrupt, the police decide to speak to one of his friends, David Whitmire, to get a better understanding of who Stephen is. David lived across the street from the apartment complex where Lauren and Stephen lived, and also...
And this guy, I remember this friend, he says that this guy, that Daniel even creeps him out.
...attended the same classes, so he knows them both.
Did you know this Lauren's next door neighbor, Stephen McDaniel?
Very well. Notice again how David Whitmire's body is angled toward the detective, just like Lauren's boyfriend, David Van Diver, was, which is noticeably different than how Stephen has been sitting.
You know, Stephen could stay in there a long time and not come back out. And I would like...
Just stay in his house, his apartment for days?
Yeah. And I would say, you know, and I don't know, like adopting a puppy or something, I'd say, Stephen, and and I also didn't always want to eat alone. So I'd say, let's go down to 5 guys.
All this information does is tell investigators that Stephen was likely a loner and possibly a recluse. This is important information for detectives because oftentimes individuals who commit these horrific murders are socially isolated. It also means that he was probably home at the time that Lauren was attacked. According to her friends, because Stephen was a bit of an outsider, Lauren went out of her way to be nice to him, even though she apparently found him a bit strange. Since none of his tactics are working so far, the detective tries something new, attempting to be more aggressive in the hopes this will get Stephen to say something besides...
This guy, I think he goes, and even your friend thinks you're crazy. He thinks you're a fucking piece of shit.
I don't know. He brings up Lauren's mother and asks what he should tell her about her daughter's disappearance.
And you want me to sit there and tell him that you don't know? Is that what you want me to tell him? Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media. But now you're going to get out here and you don't fucking know. You know. You're just a sorry piece of shit.
Yes.
By shifting to a more aggressive stance, it's apparent that the Reed method is not working. This also signifies that the investigator has lost control of the interrogation. The detective is likely taking his frustrations about the case out on Stephen, rather than stopping to think about what would be the best approach to get him to talk. He may be trying to rile Stephen up and make him upset enough to admit something in anger. However, name-calling is never a good tactic to get a suspect to open up.
Yep.
This is an example of how sometimes individual law enforcement officers may stray away from standard interrogation protocols, such as the Reed technique. In fact, the Reed technique teaches that the interviewer should remain a neutral and objective fact finder, which clearly isn't the case here. The desperation on the part of the detective could also backfire, because it may show Stephen that his act is working, and the investigators are getting desperate. For half an hour, the first detective struggles to get any response from Stephen, so another officer enters the room to change up the dynamic.
Why would you not be honest with me?
I am being honest.
Stephen, it just doesn't feel like it, buddy. You know, I get the sense that there's something weighing heavy on your heart right now. And it's breaking you down. And you feel bad about it. I can tell you haven't slept much, have you, in the last few days, have you?
No.
Like something's weighing on your mind, ain't it?
No.
We were looking for Lauren.
You started looking for Lauren yesterday.
Yes.
But you haven't slept in several days, have you?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Earlier when I talked to you, you said you hadn't slept in days, and this morning was the first time you was able to get any sleep, was this morning.
Because he asked him, he goes, "You smell like bleach. You smell like all the cleaners that my wife uses in the house. Why do you smell like bleach?"
For a little bit.
No.
Yes, that's what you said. That's what you told me. So I asked you, well, if you haven't been able to sleep in several days, what have you been doing, studying? And you said, yeah, studying. You don't remember that?
No.
By pointing out Stephen's inconsistent statements, the detective is trying to shake his confidence and make him doubt himself. If Stephen feels like he's making a lot of mistakes, that will likely increase his stress, which in turn could cause him to make more mistakes.
What I want you to do, and I'm going to ask you this question.
Did you take that cookie?
I want you to describe to me how you feel right now.
He stares at him.
You don't know how to answer that with a yes or no, do you?
I don't know what's going on.
The investigator is once again trying to build rapport through empathy, marking a return to classic interrogation techniques. As well, the switch to open-ended questions suggests that this investigator is perhaps more experienced or more effective than the other.
Yeah.
Lauren's missing. This pretty little girl right here, your neighbor, she's missing.
I know.
You went looking for her last night.
Yes.
Did you hurt Lauren?
12 hours the interrogation was.
Stephen, did you hurt Lauren?
No.
When is the last time you've seen Lauren alive?
I can't recall.
I mean, if that's Lauren's, we haven't positively identified it.
But like his graduation, because once it was all over with, then we didn't like.
And that was in May 2014. So you hadn't seen her like around the apartment complex coming and going or anything like that?
No, but I would, from time to time, I would ask, I'd notice her car was either gone or in a different parking place.
This is an example of how deception indicators should not be relied on by themselves and should only be interpreted in the context of the situation. David answers, "I can't recall." This could be considered a selective memory statement, which can be a tell for deception. However, when you look closer at the situation, you see that David had a legitimate reason for not knowing when he last saw her. They were not close friends and didn't really keep in touch after graduation. It's only a red flag for deception if the person being...
Oh my God, cable guy. I was just quoting that the other day because a colleague of mine hadn't even seen that video. Well, he's a lot younger than me, but I was telling him about it. I'm like, dude, have you ever seen Jim Carrey and Cable Guy? He's like, what is that? And I was showing the opening scene. Don't leave. And then he's like, when he finally, look who finally just decided to show up. Jerk off. I'm just joking with you. Classic. That's like one of Jim Carrey's actually best movies, in my opinion.
Question doesn't have a reasonable explanation not to remember.
So this video is from a channel called Explore With Us. It's a really great channel. Go over and check them out. And shout out to them. They did really, really great work in putting these episodes together.
So I kept up with them a lot because I had to always walk I had to look at everybody's car and everybody's apartment as I walked to class. So I kept up too.
Hey, Elizabeth's gone.
But
Stephen.
I would ask him, what's Lauren doing? And, generally it were nondescript responses about.
Or when they're inside medieval times. Welcome to medieval times. And they do the fight. So funny. Love it.
Well, I think she went out of town, or I think this.
Did Stephen ever tell you, what his relationship was with Lauren? I mean, he never said that, referred to her as his girlfriend or anything. He just, That's his neighbor and a classmate? Or?
Yeah, that was it. I didn't presume anything. And Lauren had a long-term steady boyfriend.
You have another vehicle.
No, I don't.
So your grandfather's a liar. Is that what you're saying? You're calling your grandfather a liar. I just talked to him. And he said you own another car.
I don't.
Stephen, we're telling way too many lies in here.
Yeah.
So you're telling me they're lying?
You're willing to tell me
Midnight's going down.
that you're a virgin and that you told me you jack off the porn on the internet, but you don't want to admit to having another car? That makes me think you got something to hide, Stephen. That concerns me. You tell me things that most people wouldn't tell somebody else, but yet you lie about something simple.
Why are you
about
trying to
having
hide
another
that you
car.
have another car? What's the big deal?
I don't have.
I got 3 cars.
You do. You do.
No, I don't.
It's not at your
What
house.
happened to it?
I've never had another car.
That's the only car you ever had in Macon.
Yes.
Okay, let me go talk to him again, because that's not what he's saying.
The footage would turn out not to be the linchpin needed to solve this case, as it doesn't actually capture any evidence used to narrow down Lauren's killer. Instead, it's the killer's own oversights which will catch them up in the end.
Stephen. What happened to Lauren?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You like her, don't you?
She's my friend.
Did you ever think about having sex with her?
No.
You never tried to talk to her on a dating level?
No.
Let me go talk. They got his grandfather. Let me go talk, make sure that he owns another car, because he's telling us
This might be the underwear part. Stephen.
Oh.
These 2 cops are like Laurel and Hardy.
You're right by.
So you telling me see that pretty girl right there?
Yes.
You telling me you looked at a pretty girl like that and you never once thought ever, man, she looks good. You never thought that?
Ooh.
I don't understand.
Do you talk to Stephen? Email to email?
Little brief emails.
Is there anything on there discussing about Lauren?
No, there was only time he ever mentioned Lauren in that other than like this, like, have you seen Lauren lately? Well, I would ask him that sometimes. And there was this one experience where Lauren's name came up, and he said, boy, you should have been there. He said, Lauren really put on a show. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, she was so drunk. And then he described how she had been out there dancing with some other girl and had fallen and apparently was not wearing any underwear or very skimpy underwear like they wear nowadays. And apparently flashed most of the room purely accidentally.
I understand.
And he that's the only thing I've ever heard related to Lauren.
The officers appear to have found a potential motive for Stephen to want to hurt Lauren. The speculation that perhaps he had a romantic interest in her wasn't completely misplaced. A friend of Lauren's would later come forward to share that Stephen had asked her out on a date, and Lauren turned him down. This friend also said that he didn't think Stephen had a single bad bone in his body and was always helpful and kind, even helping one night to make sure when Lauren came home from the bar intoxicated that she got into her apartment okay. However, this friend eventually admitted that Stephen continually asked her out on dates and even allegedly weirded her out with his attention. Though he doesn't give much away during the interview, posts that Stephen made online reveal he actually thought about dating and relationships a lot. The posts were confirmed to be penned by Stephen because although he uses the nickname
Kind of sounds a little familiar in a case that we've been watching, huh?
SOL, or Son of Liberty, to make the online comments on a few different forums, SOL wrote that they were a law student in Macon. If that wasn't enough evidence, Stephen was also known to send politically charged emails to his entire university, which he signed with his name and the moniker Son of Liberty. In one post, Stephen answered another user's comment with, "Ha, you won't find any pictures like that in my home because I don't have a girlfriend. I just made myself sad." Later, in a post from February 2010, he wrote, "The problem with being a social recluse with a fundamental disability to connect on a romantic level is that we want so much to find that one special person with whom we want to grow old with, raise children with, spend the rest of our lives with, and yet we're incapable of going out and finding her." As it reaches midnight, the detective's frustration begins to show. But even though his answers don't change, the cracks are beginning to show in Stephen's robotic answers.
You knew that there was blood in that apartment.
No.
Yes, you did, Stephen. Yes, you did. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. That's right.
Did you I don't mean to laugh, but did you hear the other cop screaming from the hallway? He's got DNA. We're going to check for DNA in that apartment. Here.
Blood in your apartment.
This is classic.
Stephen, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. You didn't get it all up.
Like bleach.
It didn't all come off.
You scrubbed and
you scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you watch CSI? Yeah, we know it.
The blood the police claimed they found was in Stephen's bathroom. It's hard to know for sure at this point if they actually have discovered this evidence, given how early it is in the investigation. But since police can lie during interrogations, this could be just another tactic to try and get Stephen to confess something.
Is there a chance? But you do admit that there's a chance that I possibly have evidence to show that you do have something to do with that body, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know?
While outright denials can be confronted, "I don't know" is a much harder statement to confront. There's very little room to redirect this answer into another line of inquiry, as the follow-up questions would all tend to be answerable with yes, no, or "I don't know."
Because if I hadn't done anything, I'd say, nope, there's no way. But you say you don't know. Why is that? Why do you say you don't know? Is there a chance that maybe something's there?
No.
Why did you say you don't know?
The thing that's really crazy about this too, and I'm noticing, is that they always give he's just giving a question that you can answer with a simple answer. And I've worked in sales in many, many years. So like if someone comes in and it's like, is there anything that I can help you with? That's like one of the worst things you can say, because they can just say yes or no. It's just yes or no answers. But if I was to say to you, like, what did you think of the weather today? Wasn't that rain crazy? You have to speak to me and give me a kind of a long, antiquated, answer.
Because I don't know.
Because you're worried about something, maybe something that happened, that maybe something got mixed up with something and you're worried about that?
No.
Then why do you say I don't know?
Because I don't know.
How would you not know?
Yeah.
Stephen may be enjoying the fact that he's getting a rise out of the detectives. It may make him feel superior to see how frustrated they're getting while he's able to remain completely deadpan.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it.
Yeah.
I wanted to be here with you to go through that process, because
Ooh, bam. That looks like it's gonna hurt, Gene.
I know you're not a monster, man. I know you're not a bad guy.
Salt peanuts, salt peanuts.
You're just a hard-working student trying to pass a bar exam, ain't you?
Uh-oh.
Show me that scratch again that you showed me earlier. That was it what did you say happened there?
I think I scratched myself in my sleep.
No.
Oh.
It's interesting that this question about the scratches on his torso is the one that sparks the most detailed response from him. Perhaps he's trying to deflect the officer's attention from the suspicious marks, because the scratches look like the kind left by fingernails. Though the detective says that Stephen showed him the scratches earlier, Stephen would later claim that he didn't consent to showing the officer anything, and that he'd lifted his shirt without permission.
Specimen.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to people that he works with and everything. They talk about how He always expresses himself.
But he don't know.
He's very talkative. Stephen, they say you're so talkative, buddy, that you're always so friendly. You stop in and say hello, and you talk. Why is it that you're acting so short with us tonight? If you have all this character and personality about you, why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't know.
If what the detectives are saying about him normally being friendly is true, then Stephen has been very careful not to give away anything verbal or nonverbal throughout this entire process.
Woo bam.
This must be using a lot of energy and effort on his part.
Woo bam.
The police may believe Stephen is guilty, but with little evidence at this point and no indication that he's going to crack anytime soon, the detective shows his true frustration.
Why are you lying, Stephen?
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are lying. How long are you going to continue to do it? She's got a mother and a father and a family out there that is sick over everything. Where's that little girl, Stephen?
I don't know.
Stephen, you know.
It's like a cookie in a cookie jar.
Where?
Take that cookie.
I don't know.
Stephen. You're going to look at this right here, this little girl right here, and you're going to say you don't know? I know you know.
I don't know.
Yes, you know. What are you going to say tomorrow when I say we got your hair with the body? What are you going to say to me then? Because, you know, like I go like that. Look at my hair.
This cop's pissed.
That's how easy it falls out. Look at all that on your head. You don't think nothing fell out? It did. It did, Stephen. We just want to give you an opportunity to tell it. So you didn't look like a monster at the end. Because you know what? I don't believe that you're a monster, Stephen. I believe that you're a good guy. You've been picked on. Girls didn't show you the respect that you deserved. You did something stupid. And I believe you feel bad about it. And that's why you're all freaked out right now. But I'm giving you the opportunity to get right. I'm giving you an opportunity to show everybody you're not a monster, that you feel bad about what happened. Your hair is there, man. Your hair is there. We got your hair with the body. How's that, Stephen?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Yes, you do know, Stephen.
When the detective claims that Stephen is a good guy who didn't get the respect he deserved from girls, this is part of the theme development phase of the Reed technique. The detective is trying to shift the blame away from Stephen onto an external reason: girls rejected him, so that it's easier for him to confess. Why? The question on everyone's mind.
Be curious to see if we ever get the interrogation. Well, actually, Koberger lawyered up right away. Yeah, he was smart enough to do that. He knew.
But the true horror of Lauren's fate wouldn't be revealed for months. Despite the detective's exhaustive efforts, nonstop questions, and over 12 hours of interrogation, Stephen didn't confess. Not then, at least.
12 hours. Look at this cop's pissed.
You heard her, Stephen.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Why won't you tell me, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
I'm so pissed.
I'm gonna take this from me. You don't deserve to look at it. Just stay right here, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate all your cooperation tonight, okay?
Okay.
Stephen's lease on his apartment was up in 2 weeks. He was just about to take the bar, become a lawyer, leave Macon, and return home. But instead, he's arrested that night and taken to jail. Undoubtedly, his unsettling behavior during questioning helped to solidify the suspicion against him. But soon Stephen would offer an explanation.
Oh.
In fact, just like he explained away his choice to hang around the apartments while they were searched, he would soon offer up a series of claims. None of his allegations have ever been independently verified, nor were they caught on camera, so we can't comment on the validity of his accusations. In a written statement after his arrest, Stephen claimed that after the reporter told him about the discovery of Lauren's torso, He was on the verge of hyperventilating and lost consciousness. Stephen said that he was diagnosed by an emergency medical technician as having suffered a seizure. Instead of being taken to the hospital, Stephen explains he was removed from the EMT's care by the police and brought to the station for his second interview instead. There, Stephen claimed that he told the police he needed medical aid, but instead, when he tried to stand, was pushed back down by an officer, pinning him to the seat. He said that he was disoriented with severe head pain, had lost sensation in his extremities, could barely breathe, and was suffering from impaired vision. He went on to say that he was deprived of medical care and believed his life was in jeopardy from a medical emergency. This, Stephen explains, is why he was in an impaired state during the interrogation, and therefore was barely conscious and not in control of his words or actions. If this is true, it would put anything he said into question. Of course, Stephen would have had a lot of time between the interview and his later arrest to come up with a well-thought-out lie to explain his odd behavior. Still, it's important to note that Stephen's symptoms also sound like a panic attack. It would make sense that he was triggered by the discovery of his friend and neighbor's body, sending him into a panic attack regardless of his guilt or innocence. However, a killer who never expected the body to be found would have reason to be panicked when it was discovered, along with potential evidence. With this accusation in mind, it's impossible to know if his catatonic-like state was the result of a real medical emergency, or if it was an attempt to manipulate the interrogation so he didn't have to give any answers beyond yes, no, and I don't know. As a law student studying criminal law, Stephen would know just what kind of information the officers would be trying to pry out of him, and exactly how to avoid giving anything away. Within this statement, Stephen shows just how deeply he understands the law, writing that when police and prosecutors can only obtain evidence and convictions by violating people's rights and testifying falsely, and when courts ratify such misconduct by the refusal to exclude evidence when the testimony of police, true or false, unmistakably shows that a fundamental right has been violated, the entire system of criminal justice becomes a sham. Finally, he ended the statement with, "My words may go unheeded, but the truth in them will remain, even if no one listens. Who will guard the guards themselves?" However, contradicting Stephen's allegations of being mistreated, an officer wrote in their own statement that though pale and zombie-like, he was offered food and water or anything else he needed, but he said no and mostly just stared into space. In this case, it appears to be his word against the officers. Soon after Stephen's arrest, troubling evidence was uncovered that solidified the police's suspicion. An ex-roommate of Stephen's during his undergrad came forward and told police that when he knew him, Stephen would often ask people how they would commit the perfect murder, starting all the way back in 2007. He would then share his own ideas on how to commit the perfect murder, including wearing shoes that were too small, cutting his hair, and using things such as...
That's interesting.
chloroform to subdue a victim, specifically a female victim, and use chemicals to get rid of the smell of the body. He would then drag the body to a bathroom, since tile and linoleum was easy to clean, and cut up the body in the bathtub. Finally, he would place the body parts in black plastic bags, hide them among his laundry, and sneak them out of the apartment or house so he could distribute them over a large area. Remember these specific details and the fact that Stephen was discussing this 4 years before Lauren was killed, because all of this becomes sickeningly relevant later. Understandably, the roommate was a bit disturbed and would joke that he needed to lock his doors at night, to which Stephen replied that it wouldn't matter since he would pick the lock, rush in, and chloroform him. People who knew him reported that he had a history of breaking and entering, including stealing small items from other people's rooms and apartments. If you recall, Lauren believed that someone had been in her apartment but didn't have any proof. She was likely right, but didn't know that it had probably been Stephen. Another person who knew Stephen during his undergrad told the police about his plan to commit the perfect murder. He said that when he discussed it, he spoke with intense passion and added that Stephen would always say there were 2 ways to become famous: be a movie star or a murderer.
Jesus.
Could this be the reason Stephen couldn't help himself and spoke to the reporter, knowing that he was the one who committed the crime? Had he been seeking fame, or at least his 15 minutes? The fact that Stephen titled his plan The Perfect Murder is another indication of his grandiosity, along with his talk of fame, as it seems he had the desire to be known by others. People who are narcissistic and grandiose often have a very fragile sense of self and low self-esteem at their core. They compensate for this by adopting a totally opposite manner of interacting in their environment: grandiosity and narcissism. It's possible that Stephen always felt ignored or invisible to others. We know he was
Gee, kind of sounds like someone we know, huh?
isolative, and he admitted to not having intimate relationships. It's possible that Stephen craved attention, and this, in combination with some likely built-up anger and frustration, led him to develop a desire for notoriety. In other words, he liked...
Do you see all of the common traits in all of these like very weird, people that commit murders? There's a lot of commonality traits between all of them. And it's just, like I keep saying, gee, it kind of sounds like someone we know.
Likely knew that being a movie star was not in the cards for him. We can tell by his poor performance in the interrogation room and when speaking to the news reporter. So Stephen may have decided that being a murderer was the option that could give him the attention he craved for so long. Stephen even expanded on these thoughts, stating to this person that all serial killers had full control over the situation and every person's life they touched.
Be right back.
He believed that Stephen wanted total power over someone else, and that it was this want which fueled most of his actions. Often individuals with narcissistic traits feel a need to have control over others. They feel this is a defense against receiving a narcissistic injury or a wound to their ego if they're able to keep others under control. Since it appears Stephen didn't have romantic partners, this need may have been fulfilled with his sneaking around and observing Lauren or others without their knowing. Having full control is a common motivating factor among people with antisocial personality disorder. They derive pleasure from being in full control of people and situations because it feeds into their grandiose sense of self and narcissism. These people often fantasize about being great and powerful and will commit horrific actions to materialize this fantasy. Additionally, since people with antisocial personality are very spiteful and vindictive, they will seek revenge if they perceive that someone has wronged them. Maybe Stephen resented Lauren because she wasn't interested in him romantically. Regardless, it's clear that murder is something that he had given a lot of thought for a long time. Murder could have been an escalation of his breaking and entering behavior. Perhaps his desire to kill was even part of the reason he enrolled in law school. He wanted to learn how he could get away with murder. Once again, Stephen's creepy posts online revealed just how much he'd been thinking about death. Not only was he making comments on message boards just 3 days before Lauren's torso was discovered, right around the time she was killed, but in discussions about survivalist shows, he talked about cannibalism. One post, he said, "If we have to resort to cannibalism, we'll do it in as orderly a fashion as can be done in those circumstances." Another...
what's very strange about this too, and, I want to, I hate to keep kind of tying Brian Koberger into this, but Koberger did a lot of posting online too. And it seems like, a lot of these people, once the internet became, I would say like big and well known, and, we're always, Christ, we're on the internet right now. But it always seems like they take to these forums and write these things on email, like Reddit and, all these other forums. It's crazy.
Other read. Yeah,
a lot of commonalities. Like I said, there's a lot of commonalities and a lot of traits.
Isn't a first resort, it's the last. It is only undertaken when all other options have run out, and the only choices are starve or cannibalize. As for who, I would take the volunteer if there was one.
Jesus.
If not, I'd take a look around, pick out the people who are least likely to survive much longer, and have them draw straws. Short straw dies. Everyone else lives. Supposedly, human flesh tastes most like ham.
Nice.
He expanded on these chilling thoughts, writing, "It seems the last few posts seem to have forgotten that the scenario is eat human or starve. You're bickering about the buildup of fat-soluble toxins and such, when you should only be asking yourself, would I eat another person in order to keep alive because no other source of food existed? If you're too worried about getting a disease, then don't eat and starve to death. If you aren't that worried, then eat the dead body. His other comments about the survivalist show also include a post stating, despite how Discovery is portraying it, I'd rather have a global epidemic that wipes out most of humanity than some other disaster scenarios that exist. As well as disaster scenarios where Stephen wrote, if you fall behind, you get left behind. In a chat room discussing horror movies, he wrote, grotesque didn't make me cringe. It was just, driving nails through a man's testicles, cutting off a woman's nipples with a pair of scissors, severing fingers and making a necklace out of them. None of that does anything for me. It was fairly good imagery, but it failed to resonate with me. Yes, I can watch a man disemboweling himself by crawling across a room while his intestines are clamped to a hook and not feel even the slightest disgust. I am that desensitized to gore and torture. It also appears that Stephen often talked hypothetically about how he would try to get away with murder, not only to those who knew him, but online as well. In one post, he spoke about what he might do after committing the act. He claimed that he would sit on the ground and just rock back and forward on the ground, eyes wide and blank. He wrote, I'd remain in this state for at least a day. No talking, no communication, blank, unfocused stares. I do not fall asleep either. Eventually, when some new stimulus is introduced, a family member I haven't seen, a picture of my brother or something like that, I shake my head from side to side, blink rapidly, and look around in a panicked manner, asking where I am, what's going on, if my family is okay, why I'm there. And when they ask, I'd say I had no memory of anything. They'll probably initiate charges, at which point the family will need to get a lawyer to argue that I had no knowledge of my actions and were not acting of my own volition when I acted. Keep the story consistent, and whenever I'm asked about what happened, I look down and put a sad look on your face, relating what I was told happened, as you have no memory of it. I might end up institutionalized for a while so they can try to figure out what caused the blackout. But if I stuck to the story, it's doubtful I'd end up in prison. He ends his post with, of course, this is all hypothetical. Sounds unnervingly familiar, doesn't it? With all of this in mind, it's apparent that he contemplated an insanity or lack of capacity defense at some point before Lauren's death. In law school, students learn about excuse and non-culpability defenses, and his thought pattern generally follows along the same lines as a Manhattan defense. Under the Manhattan rule is generally adopted in various forms by many states. To be found not guilty by reason of insanity, the defendant must be laboring under such a defective reason from disease of the mind as to not know the nature and quality of...
All right, this is just getting a little bit here. I think I've kind of had enough of this part of it. It looks like it's going to go on for about another 11 minutes of this. We kind of know what's going on. I actually want to pull up the interrogation. I think I got it to the point where, oh, real quick, I have him in court when he appealed, when he was doing an appeal for a sentence where he filed some complaints. Let's play this real quick.
Today, convicted killer Stephen McDaniel questioned his former attorney and others as he tried to convince a Richmond County judge to grant him a new trial. McDaniel admitted 4 years ago to killing and dismembering his Mercer Law School classmate and neighbor, Lauren Giddings.
He admitted to it.
Caitlin Heck breaks down what happened in the courtroom today.
Stephen McDaniel walked into the courtroom today with an entire cart full of documents. The morning got off to a bit of a slow start. He began by questioning Nancy Scott Malcor, who works with the district attorney's office. He asked very specific questions regarding court documents and transcripts of pretrial hearings. Now, this is the first time we've really heard Stephen McDaniel speak. In all of his pretrial hearings, it was mainly his attorneys who spoke for him.
How would you describe my demeanor at that meeting?
Now, things really didn't pick up until later in the afternoon as McDaniel began questioning his former attorney, Floyd Buford. And McDaniel decided to waive his attorney-client privilege, meaning that Buford had the ability to speak freely regarding his discussions with Stephen McDaniel. Buford described,
a lot of the times that these fucking psychopaths do this, it's just grandstanding and trying to upstage everything. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And the judge knows this. It's just a waste of time.
McDaniel today as weird and a bit odd, but he did say that throughout the entire process, he believed that McDaniel was innocent.
But up until the last couple of weeks of your case, I was strongly in your corner. Believe me, you were innocent. But this computer evidence that came in from the GBI, the fact that you peeping in this Giddings apartment.
We also got a very detailed look today at discussions between McDaniel and his legal team in the days leading up to his guilty plea.
The graphic, specific, detailed confession that you made to Frank Hogue and I, which we were shocked about in the jail, and which you went into terrific detail about how you killed Lauren Giddings.
Now, in McDaniel's habeas, he claims that Floyd Buford, Frank Hogue, and the rest of his defense team failed to represent him effectively. Here's what Buford had to say today about that.
Started off facing a death penalty and ended up with life with possibility of parole. You could get out one day, Stephen, and you viciously murder a woman and dismembered her, and you still could be paroled. So I don't see how that's ineffective assistance.
Now, throughout the entire day, McDaniel remained very stoic, much like his parents who were sitting in the front row. They showed very little emotion, except for the very end of the day. His mother waited around as McDaniel was getting ready to leave the courtroom and waited to blow him a kiss. And McDaniel was not able to call on one of his last witnesses, his other defense attorney, Frank Hogue. He also intends to question Nancy Scott Malcor again regarding documents he had requested from the DA's office. The judge decided to call for a recess and said that the hearing would have to continue at a later date. In Richmond County, I'm Caitlin Heck, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, I think I have the point of the interview, the interrogation where the cop is talking about the cookie and the underwear. We'll play through that before we wrap up the stream.
Stephen, did you hurt Lauren?
No,
I know this is hard for you to tell it, but it's weighing on you right now, ain't it, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
But I know you can probably help me.
That was loud. That scared the shit out of me. It's so loud and it scared the shit out of me.
Buddy?
Oh, that was so loud. Oh, my heart just jumped because it was so loud. Shit.
Me and you both know it's no different than when you was a little kid, right? And you reached in that cookie jar and you got caught after your mama told you not to get that cookie. When she was, did you get a cookie?
You get a cookie?
No. And whenever you tell a lie, you feel bad.
My fucking heart skipped. I have headphones on. My fucking heart skipped. It was so loud.
About it right then. One, with every lie, there's a chance you're going to get caught. And that weighs on you. Because you know you did something bad. Am I right?
Yeah, next time.
You didn't take the cookie?
You didn't take cookie?
No.
Look at the stare off.
What'd you do, buddy?
It's intense.
I didn't do anything.
What'd you do to Lauren?
I didn't do anything.
You saw Lauren last night, though? Yesterday?
No,
What time was it that she went out to do her laundry?
I don't know.
Where were you at yesterday?
At home.
What'd you do at home?
I think this is when you ask him if he wears the same clothes too. You wear the same underwear 3 days in a row?
Tell me everything you did yesterday. From the time you woke up to the time you went to sleep.
Hey, Terry, good to see you.
At what time?
I don't remember.
Was it yesterday morning?
I don't remember.
What'd you do when you woke up?
I think I checked the news.
All right, you checked the news, okay?
Hi, everyone. Mark Barden here at Sandy Hook Promise. On December 14th, 2000.
What'd you do after that?
I watched some videos online.
Did you clean up?
Smell like bleach.
You didn't?
No.
You smell like you've been cleaning up, like you've been using cleaner to clean up. I know what that smells like. My wife smells like that all the time when she cleans the house. You've been using some kind of cleaner to clean up your apartment, hadn't you?
No.
Stephen, you telling me you live like a man? How does your apartment get cleaned?
I cleaned it.
Okay. When was the last time you cleaned it, Stephen?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Was it this week?
No.
You mean you go a whole week without cleaning?
Yes.
Why? That's horrible, Stephen. Was it possibly over the weekend, last weekend?
No.
It wasn't? If you can't remember,
Oh wow, that's
then
crazy.
how is it that you can tell me that you didn't clean up your apartment last weekend? A minute ago you couldn't remember.
I don't remember cleaning last weekend.
So it isn't that you didn't, it's that you just don't remember. Right? Help me out, buddy. Right?
I don't understand.
You don't understand? I don't know how else to say it, Stephen. Let me tell you what I think. I think that she was a friend of yours. Look at her right here. Yeah. I think that she was a friend of yours. And I think something happened, Stephen.
Stephen.
You used to watch her come in and out of her apartment, didn't you?
No.
I mean, then how were y'all friends? If me and you friends, we live next door to each other. Every time I look out when I see, oh, there's my buddy going in. Because we're friends. I'm gonna pay attention to when you come in and out. Didn't you just tell me that y'all were friends? But you didn't pay attention to when she came in and out?
No.
Stephen, you're lying. Now you're lying. You're just lying. That's a lie. You ever see her come in and out of her apartment?
Yes.
You did? When was the last time?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Like last week, maybe?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Stephen, you understand that everything that you're saying here doesn't make any sense at all. None. None. You totally contradict everything that relates to human behavior. We have skills to be able to observe things, to hear things, to see things. There are natural things out there that draw our attention every day. Such as when you're driving down the road, if somebody hits the horn, you look around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just a natural reaction. If you're sitting in your living room, you hear the door slam next to you, you automatically think, my neighbor's home. Right? You're telling me that those kind of things don't happen in your life.
You asked if I watched. I didn't watch.
Have you noticed that she's came in and out of her house in the last week or two?
I don't remember.
What do you remember, Steve?
I don't know.
The last time I saw her was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Where at?
She was going out running when I was coming in.
Oh. Where were you coming in from?
Bar preparation.
Bar preparation? What's a bar preparation? Oh, you're preparing for the bar exam?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's going on here?
How y'all doing? We're just talking.
This guy.
He doesn't seem to remember a whole lot.
How you guys doing? What you guys doing here?
Everything's yes or no. Or I don't remember.
Oh, I want to find
a lot of things aren't making any sense. I got to be honest with you, Stephen. Me personally.
Let's see if we find.
At the real luxury is Gucci.
We'll skip
Louis
around a little
Vuitton,
bit.
Prada,
See if we can
luxury
find
is
some of
scoring
the
something
interesting parts.
I know that she goes to the law school.
Here's the gravity part of the chair, I think. That chair creaks.
You said you didn't have any other cars, right?
Right.
Well, why would everybody you went to school with for the last 3 and 4 years said that you own another car other than that you go to prison? Everybody I talked to, all your friends you were in school with, people that you worked at the district attorney's office with said you have other cars other than that car. And you're gonna sit here today and tell me you don't have another car?
I don't.
Well, where's that?
I don't have one.
It's very interesting listening to 2 times the
So if I call
speed.
your granddaddy, he's gonna tell me that you only have one car.
Yes.
What's his phone number?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do, because I already have his number. You don't know his phone number?
No.
This is so bizarre.
I mean, you seriously can't help us out.
His number is in my cell phone.
That's a start. Where's your cell phone?
At the apartment.
In your apartment? I mean, it's kind of late to be calling him. Does he stay up late?
I don't know.
This is so bizarre.
Do you have a grandmother or is it just him?
My grandmother passed away.
A while back?
Yes.
But you're close to your grandfather, right?
Yes.
I mean, don't he own some property or something, he said? A couple of acres?
My granddaddy or my grandfather?
Oh.
Who lives in Pike County?
My granddaddy.
Does he own any land down there?
Yes.
And do sometimes you go down there to visit him or something?
Last time we met, I went down and visited with my aunt and uncle.
What did he do for a living? Was he an attorney like you?
He worked for the Southern
Just
Railroad
holding
Company.
on.
Was anybody in your family an attorney?
No.
You're the only one that went through law school?
Look at it. It's just.
Well, that's an accomplishment.
Just like, get out.
Yes.
I mean, it took a long time, right?
Yes.
I think he goes back further too.
I think you told me earlier you were from up in Atlanta, or did you live in Atlanta or Griffin or something like that?
Lilburn.
You don't have any family left up there?
Yes.
I can't.
Who lives up there?
My parents.
Any brothers or sisters?
My sister lives in Tucker.
Georgia?
Yes.
I think there's a part
What's
where
up with
he's
the
like,
pair of underwear that was in your apartment?
Oh.
It was like a mask. It was cut out like a mask. Do you cut underwear out to look like a mask?
No.
I think.
How many guns did you have in your apartment?
Hang on. I think.
Have you ever seen her with that dress
I
on?
think this. He had the trigger.
No.
I think this is
You have
it.
no idea where she's at?
No.
Right here. I define gravity.
Yes.
Fucking chair. I don't mean to laugh, but
Have you ever seen her with that
I
dress
gotta
on?
go back and watch that.
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
Ready?
Oh.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Yes.
Listen, Saturday nights are casual. Holy smokes! Let me see if I can find the underwear part, because that's when he's like, Stephen. All right, we saw this. Is it? It might be here when this guy leaves again.
Hey, see that pretty girl right there?
Let's see if we can find the underwear.
You telling me you looked at a pretty girl like that and you never once thought, ever?
Aren't you?
Man, she looks good.
Well,
You never thought that?
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand? You know how when you're sitting there, you see a girl walking down the road?
You
And you say, man, that girl looks good. You ever see a good looking girl on the road, you think to yourself, man, that girl looks good?
Yes.
You never thought that about her?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you look at porn on the internet and get off to that, but you never looked at her and said, man, I wonder what it'd be like.
do y'all want me to keep streaming? Because I can stay up a little while longer. It's all up to you guys. Do you want me to keep going? Are you into this, or do you guys want to go? I'm game. I can hang out for a little while longer if you guys want to keep going. Just let me know. Because if people have to go, I can shut the stream down. We'll skip around in this if you want. We'll try to find that part when he's like, Stephen. Let me know, guys. Do you want me to? Dr. Bob wants me to stay. All right, we'll go a little longer. This is cool. Okay. Yeah, we'll just skip around in this interrogation. All right, I'll keep going.
Like to have sex with
Like
her?
I said, Saturday nights, if I jump on here, it's kind of like a casual, just a hangout. We're chilling. Yeah. All right. We'll keep going.
Yes.
You have?
No.
Maybe we'll go.
Have you ever thought about what it would be like to have sex with Lauren?
No.
You've never imagined having sex with Lauren?
No.
Have you ever had sex with Lauren?
No.
Yeah, lean back, y'all.
What do you know about that body we found today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Oh, commercial. We got a commercial.
Peggy 16.
What if I told you that I believe that you do know?
I don't.
What if I told you that I could prove it?
Oh, yeah. Liar.
You don't know?
Yep. Liar. I forgot.
Is there a chance?
Liar.
But you do admit that there's a chance that I possibly have evidence to show that you do have something to do with that body.
Liar.
Correct?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Liar.
Because if I hadn't done anything, I'd say, nope, there's no way. But you say you don't know. Why is that? Why do you say you don't know? Is there a chance that maybe something's there?
No.
Liar.
Why did you say you don't know?
Because I don't know.
Because you're worried about something? Maybe something that happened, that maybe something got mixed up with something and you're worried about that?
No.
Then why do you say I don't know?
Because I don't know.
How would you not know?
Because I didn't do anything.
If I was asking you, did you just rob a bank? If you didn't, you'd say no, not I don't know, right?
Right.
So why do you say I don't know?
Because I don't know.
You don't know if you had anything to do with that body?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What if I said I could prove that you did?
I don't know.
Could you explain it?
I don't know.
Today you told an investigator that you were worried about us possibly finding blood in your apartment, didn't you?
I don't remember.
You did.
Liar.
Now, why would you be worried about that?
We all looked in Lauren's apartment.
Did you see blood?
No.
Then what would make you think that there was blood taken over there?
Liar.
Nothing would make you think that unless you saw it.
Do it.
Because, see, I didn't see no blood.
Liar.
None of the other Lauren's friends saw blood, but I know now that blood was there. And now I believe you saw it. You saw that blood. You know that blood was there. And that's why you're worried about it.
No.
Did you know? Why do you have blood up in the inside of your nose?
I don't know.
Thanks for the $2 super sticker, Gail. I appreciate it. Appreciate it so much.
You don't know?
Straight cash, homie.
But you saw that blood. That's the only way that you would be worried about it. It's like saying, I'm worried about red roses being under my pillow, but yet I never put them there. That doesn't.
KK says, you're so sweet. You remind me of one of my college boyfriends who was from Tisbury on the Vineyard. Who? Daniel? This guy? Or who are you talking about? No, not Stephen.
Doesn't make any sense. You know, your brain doesn't even think to operate like that unless you knew something was there.
Liar. I want to hear him do it. Liar.
Does that make sense? That makes sense to you. You're a smart guy, right?
I don't understand.
He didn't even jump.
You knew that there was blood in that apartment.
Liar.
No.
Yes, you did.
Do it.
Stephen.
Liar.
Yes, you did. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen.
There's a cop in the other room.
That's right.
DNA.
There's blood in your apartment.
Cop in the other room.
Steven, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you. You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Steven. You didn't get it all up.
You cleaned.
It didn't all come off.
You scrubbed.
You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you wipe CSI?
Yes.
Yeah, we know it.
So bizarre.
Steven, why is there blood in your bathroom? You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Steven. You didn't get it all up.
Steven.
It didn't all come off.
You scrubbed.
You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you wipe CSI?
Janet, thank you so much for the
Yeah, we know it.
sticker. I appreciate that.
Straight cash, homie.
Steven, why is there blood in your bathroom?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Why, Steven?
I don't know.
Has anybody else been in your bathroom?
Thank you, Janet. I
The
appreciate
police
you.
were in there.
Other than the police. Who else has been in there?
Steven.
No one that I know.
No one. And you recently cleaned your bathroom, didn't you?
You scrubbed and you wiped.
How long ago?
I don't remember.
A couple days ago?
No.
Over the weekend?
No.
No, you don't know.
I don't remember cleaning it.
Do you use drugs?
Oh.
No.
You ever use acid?
No.
Are you on medication?
No.
This guy's so frustrated. He can't crack him. He's pissed. He doesn't know. Like, he has no idea.
You're lying, Steve.
How am I going to crack this dude?
I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it. I wanted to be here with you to go through that process because I know you're not a monster, man. I know you're not a bad guy.
I want to see if we can get the underwear when he asks him about
You're
his
just a
underwear.
hard-working student trying to pass a bar exam, ain't you? You ain't got a lot of support from your family, do you?
Man, he's trying every
You
tactic.
do? A lot of people can't say that. And the fact that you do have support from your family should make things easier because your family wants to feel like they've raised somebody that tells the truth and is honest, right?
Yes.
Did you hurt that girl, Stephen?
No.
Have you ever hurt anyone, Stephen?
No.
Liar. Oh, dude, that was weird.
I just got this $30,000 check from the government just
Ooh,
because I own a
what a
house
$30,000
in Massachusetts.
check.
I don't know about you.
That was weird. The cop went like that at him. Look at this hearing contest.
Never hurt anyone.
It's bizarre.
No.
I've hurt people, Stephen.
Dr. Bob says, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 4,000 subs. My goal is 5,000 before June. And then my goal is 10,000 by the end of the year. We got a long way to go. And then my dream, like I've told everybody, is to, eventually get this out of my bedroom into like an actual real working studio and actually have guests in my studio where they can tell me their story. And if I can do anything to help advocate for maybe things that they're going through or some things that they went through, or, just tell me their story. Maybe we have some people on the show that have been wrongly accused and they can tell that side of the law as well too. I think it's all very interesting content. Thank you, Dr. Bob. Appreciate your support.
I've made mistakes in my life. It's not even normal.
I think
So you've
what's
never
going on
hurt
here?
anybody. Sometimes people get mad. And they say things they don't mean to say. It hurts. You never kicked a dog or a cat?
You ever hurt the kids that live up there with your parents? You love those kids, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. And if something happened to one of those kids, you'd be
Let's
upset.
see.
Tell me about your family.
We went to Buckman. No.
Oh,
Their metal.
Yes.
They bring all the kids with them.
Yes.
Did some shooting.
76239. My,
Good friend,
she's a friend.
but not a really good friend. But the only thing you're bringing to the table is a yes, no, or I don't know. Would you tell me if you did? From hers.
Wow, I mean, what a bunch of mental gymnastics that these two investigators had to go through, like I don't think they're the most, solid in this, but it's just I think it really fucked with them because you can definitely tell this guy here in the pink shirt. I mean, he was getting frustrated a lot that he couldn't crack this kid.
Underwear to last you 3 weeks.
Oh, I think that's the underwear.
That's right. That's
Idiot
3 lives,
information.
Steve. You don't have a lot of clothes.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
no.
Hang on. This might be it.
You got enough underwear to last you 3 weeks?
Yes.
Do you wear the same pair of underwear more than one day?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's still clean enough to wear.
So let me ask you, do you want me to do like these throwback, like instead of watching like a program about the case, do you want me to just do like we'll do the throwback and do the interrogations? Because I could do things like Chris Watts and play all 4 parts of that and we just kind of sit through it and talk through it. It's up to you guys. I want to make the content that you want to see. If this type of content here, doesn't work for you, then we'll find something that is enjoyable. I want to serve you as my audience. So you have to let me know like, yeah, this was great or it sucked. Because I don't want to do something that you're not going to come to. And I get it. Like, tonight's an off night. People aren't seeing, Idaho murder in the headline, or they're not seeing Brian Koberger. We can't do that stuff all the time. It just, you can't. You got to do other material. I like Serial Killer Tuesday is cool. I'm doing, this throwback Thursday stuff. Maybe we do that. We just watch interrogations. It's up to you. You guys got to let me know.
I appreciate you coming down here today and talking to us, okay? I appreciate you cooperating with us and helping us along.
Let me see if I can.
With the last,
And you hadn't seen her walk in her apartment since?
I don't understand. She is.
Say you don't know?
Ooh.
I know you know.
I don't know.
Yes, you know. What are you going to say tomorrow when I say we got your hair with the body? What are you going to say to me then?
We got your hair. Look at you screw.
Because like I go like that. Look at my hair. That's how easy it falls out. Look at all that on your head. You don't think nothing fell out? It did.
George, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you and appreciate the donation. It goes back in the channel and helps everything here to support. So let's give him some
Great cash, homie.
Thank you so much. Yeah, but I want to serve you as my audience too. I want to do things that you guys are into, you guys and ladies are into. I'm sorry. I just want to make it entertaining for all of you. So
It did, Stephen. We just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it, so you didn't look like a monster at the end. Because you know what? I don't believe that you're a monster, Stephen. I believe that you're a good guy. You've been picked on. Girls didn't show you the respect that you deserved. You did something stupid. And I believe you feel bad about it. And that's why you're all freaked out.
yeah, all right. I'll be honest with you. I like the interrogation videos as well too. I think it's I think we all pretty much know, these past cases, but I like to sit through the interrogation, just kind of pick through it. And I think we can do more of that. Maybe we'll do those on the Throwback Thursdays. Canadian Catwoman says, you have a great channel, Brian. The chatters are awesome as well. Thank you for putting on a great show. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Throwbacks are great. Unsolved cases too. Morphew, Mo Wilson, Wells, just my opinion. You're doing great work. Sure, we can look at all that stuff. All right. Let's keep playing through and see.
Out right now. But I'm giving you the opportunity to get right. I'm giving you an opportunity to show everybody you're not a monster, that you feel bad about what happened. Your hair is there, man. Your hair is there. We got your hair with the body. How's that, Stephen?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Yes, you do know, Stephen. That's right, buddy. See that?
I can't.
Look at it.
I don't mean to laugh, but look at.
See how easy?
Gotta bring that back.
To get right. I'm giving you an opportunity to show everybody you're not a monster, that you feel bad about what happened. Your hair is there, man. Your hair is there. We got your hair with the body. How's that, Stephen?
You just stopped.
Yes, you do know.
Ready?
Yes, you do know, Stephen.
Yeah, right.
That's right, buddy. See that?
This guy.
Look at it. See how easy? It happens. And it happened to you.
Great technique, Bob. I love it. Man, Joe, it's great.
Why, Stephen?
I don't understand.
Oh, you understand?
You see it?
You understand exactly what I'm saying. See this stuff right here, your hair? Yeah, it fell out of your head when you was moving the body, Stephen.
He did. He actually admitted to it.
I just bought a cami and it doesn't support my breasts.
Oh my god, I have got to show you the most
Late
amazing
night,
product.
we get
Wait.
these commercials.
That's right. You remember moving the body?
He pleaded, yeah.
No.
Yes, you do, Stephen. Why, man? What happened? Why? Tell me, bud.
I didn't do it.
Yes, you did, Stephen. Your head's with the body. Quit lying. We want you to tell it so that way people will understand you're not a monster. Things just, you got out of control. It's a sickness. Why'd you do it, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
Stephen, why are you going to keep telling that? You hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, Stephen.
You hurt her.
You hurt her, man. She was screaming. Screaming, Stephen. Why? And I know you feel bad about it. I can see it in your face. What came over you, man? What happened, Stephen?
I don't know.
I know you don't know. You couldn't control it, could you?
I didn't do it.
Stephen, how long are we going to continue to do this? You did. Why is what I want to know.
I didn't do it.
Stephen, you hurt that girl, man. And you got on the news today. That's right. You know what? You weren't talking like this on the news, buddy. Yeah. You hurt this girl.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You hurt that girl.
Yeah, I mean, you know, look, we have to keep in mind it's a very serious nature of everything that's going on here. You know, someone did lose their life, and we're looking at, you know, a killer that took that person's life. And I think that in sometimes of all the macabre of things and the serious of things, we try to find a little bit of humor. I try not to be humorous in some, in a lot of these things. And I do, I try to keep humor out of it, but sometimes it happens. They're weird, and interrogations are strange, and you might find some strange techniques that the interviewer is using, and obviously this, Stephen's acting very strange. So that I don't think that we mean it in a malicious way to find, I guess, the comedy in it, but it's weird. It's strange. I think you kind of laugh at the, the bizarre things and the ridiculous things, and it's strange when someone's doing this, and it's just weird. And I think it's all those syncopatic things that we pick out when we watch an interrogation video, because I've watched this probably a million times, and I know the things that are coming up, just like all of you, the Stevens and all that stuff. So I get it.
Why'd you hurt her, Stephen?
I did.
You hurt that girl. Did you try to make her have sex with you?
I didn't.
Huh? Who did it?
I did.
They got your hair? They steal.
When she says, did you know that they found a body? And he goes, body. Yeah, we played that one.
Steal your hair and take it over there?
Yeah. You're right.
Stephen, they steal your hair? They didn't, did they? Did they, Stephen? That's right. It's all sinking in right now. He knows, is what you're thinking. Stephen, I don't want it to be a game between me and you. I know it hurts, and I know you're not an awful person, and you want to tell it. Your hair was there, Stephen. We've all known it all along. We wanted just to give you an opportunity to tell what happened. Did y'all have sex?
No.
Did you try to have sex?
No.
You think about having sex?
No.
Liar.
There it is. Liar.
What kind of man doesn't think about having sex?
Right there.
I know you're not an awful person, and you want to tell it. Your hair was there, Stephen. We've all known it all along. We wanted just to give you an opportunity to tell what happened.
Liar.
Did y'all have sex?
No.
Did you try to have sex?
No.
You think about having sex?
No.
Liar. What kind of man doesn't think about having sex?
Tax time blowout at American Freight Furniture
Perfect time
Mattress
for a commercial.
Appliance. Why wait? Take it home today for $50 and...
You said earlier you like girls, right?
Yes.
You said she's a pretty girl, right?
Yes.
What'd you do to her, Stephen?
I didn't do anything.
You're lying.
Can't crack them.
You hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
Sure it did. And that's why you're having this massive meltdown right now. Because you can't live with yourself, can you? It's overwhelming you, isn't it? Tell the truth, Stephen.
I didn't do it.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Yes, you do, Stephen.
God, man, that's so bizarre. Yeah, I should make a soundbite out of that. I'll do that.
Why?
Lar. Yeah.
Why did you hurt that girl?
I got a couple of them.
I didn't.
I got I need to get a Trump one. I got
How dare you?
I got the
How dare you?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I got you, homie.
And I got the cash register.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Yeah, I gotta get a Trump one, and we'll get this liar one. Liar. Yeah, he's a bizarre dude. We'll go a little bit longer here, and then we'll wrap this one up. I'll be back tomorrow night. Wow, this is so bizarre. That cop is pissed. He can't get him to crack.
You hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
Sure you did. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah.
You just don't want to tell it, Stephen. That's okay. I know it. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it.
KK, what we're curious here. What case are you talking about? Are you talking about this case that we're looking at? This happened back in 2011. If you're talking about this case, you can Google Stephen McDaniel and you'll find all the information on it. And it's McDaniel. McDaniel. Yeah, he does kind of look like
people
Shaggy.
didn't think you were a monster.
Zoinkies.
You're not a monster, are you, Stephen?
No.
I know, buddy. I know you're not a monster.
Let's see what else.
Tell me what happened.
Oh, most replayed. It's coming up, so something must be interesting.
Tried to have sex with her.
Oh,
no.
She didn't want to have sex with you.
It's so. I just saw what's coming up. It's when the cop leaves the room and he just stares forward for like 5 minutes and doesn't move.
I didn't do it.
It's
She
coming
didn't
up.
want to have sex with you, Steve.
I don't know.
You don't know if she wanted to have sex with you?
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did, Steve.
Right here, watch this. This is so bizarre.
You went into her apartment, Stephen. And you hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
He is full. Stephen.
You did, buddy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You hurt her, Stephen.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Why won't you tell me, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
Yep, I played it. Played the whole thing. There was 3 parts.
You take this from me. You don't deserve to look at it.
Played it at the beginning. This is bizarre.
Just
Watch
stay right
this.
here, okay?
Okay.
You stay right here, okay? Look at this. He
I
just
appreciate all your cooperation
he
tonight,
stares
okay?
forward.
Okay.
And now what? I'm gonna speed this up. Watch this. He doesn't even move. Oh wait, hang on. Let's see. I'm gonna speed this up a half. Look at this. Now this is being sped up. This is 2 times this is being sped up. Look at this. How impressive is that? Holy crap, this kid's a psycho. I have it sped up 2 times normal speed. He hasn't cracked. This is so bizarre. Look at this. He hasn't moved. Oh my God, this is so bizarre. I'm playing this right now at double speed. Oh my God. He's like a statue.
How to kill all mosquitoes in the
Okay.
area in 90 seconds. This simple but brilliant trick you can do tonight to eliminate all mosquitoes around you is take.
This is normal speed. I'm going to do 2 times. He still hasn't moved. This is so bizarre. No blinking, nothing. This is so bizarre. They must be looking at him outside the camera like, this kid's a fucking psycho. Look at this. How long does this go for?
More things we can.
Oh my God, he hadn't moved. Half man, half lizard. Oh, let's see. I hear someone coming.
All right, we're getting ready to go. I just need to discuss a few more things with you.
The cop yawned.
You know, the reason why we're down here is because Lauren's missing, right?
Christine, I'm so glad you're here. You need to email me your address so I can send off your coffee mug to you if you still want it. So just email me your address. I can get that out to you sometime this week in the mail. Yeah, Steven's a monster. We're gonna go a little bit longer, and then we're gonna wrap this one up because it's getting late.
Yeah. I just need you to please tell me. Give me I saw you.
Here goes that chair.
I mean, what do you just
Ready?
stay in the house all day?
Yes.
I mean, what do you do all day in the house?
What's the favor you
Video
need?
games.
Sure, I can do that. Email me yours at my name followed by. So you want Christine Brown 414 at Gmail? Is that what you're saying? You can send any inquiry to my P.O. box. I can give you that if that's what you're talking about. I'll just put it in the chat. If anybody wants to send fan mail, autograph inquiries, you can do that. I'll give you my P.O. box. That's my P.O. box. So it's The Opinionated Idiot, 11 Robert Toner Boulevard, Suite 5, number 377 in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, 02760. Yeah, that guy's a clown. He's not gonna get anything. You could put the chairs.
By yourself.
That shit.
You never talk to anybody on the phone or anything? Well, who called you?
The chair.
Parents.
I mean, you've always done that your whole life? You don't have no friends?
That chair's hurting.
How can you go your whole life without a friend?
I have friends.
Where they at? Where they at?
You know what he was diagnosed with? Being an asshole.
You have any friends here in Macon?
Yes.
He's lying.
Name one.
He's pulling
Everybody I talked to said they ain't
bullshit.
your friend.
Brian Granger.
He was trying to work the system.
Ashley Morehouse. Carmen Love.
That's the same people I talked to today.
They say you're
They're
fucking
not your
weird.
friend.
Not your friends.
Okay.
Say you're fucking weird.
They're not your friend. I mean, it's all over anyways. I just wanted to know what was going on tonight. The game's over. I mean, we know what you did to her, so we just want to know if you were going to tell us or not.
I didn't do anything.
Well,
Fucking lie.
that's what you say.
Bullshit.
But we know different. So you're fucked either way.
The fucking chair.
We already know.
And everybody out there, all your friends know that you're down here
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of what happened to Lauren. So all those friends that you thought you had are not your friends anymore.
Fucking liar. Look at a fucking liar.
This game, you're not.
Okay, there'll be no more video games.
Uh-oh.
All right. Not all. This is the end.
Chair.
Is there anything you want to say?
Oh, did I miss it?
That's what you say.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not see it. I was laughing. Chosen Rosen has gifted a membership, and Denise Adams is a new member of the channel. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap this puppy up in a couple of minutes. Long Saturday night hangout. I love it. I love the long Saturday night hangouts. It was fun. Denise, you are a new channel member. Thank you. You guys are great. Such a good community.
You say, stick to your story because it's over. We're tired of talking to you. Okay. We know you killed her. We know you put her body in the trash can.
We have another gift.
Simple as that.
Did we get another gifted membership? I think we did. Terry Dean is now a new member of the channel. Thank you so much.
I got you, homie.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going here.
News media knows it. Glenda knows it. Your mother. Your sister knows it. Your sister's husband knows it. The one that used to beat your sister.
Thinks you're fucking
He
weird.
knows it. You know what he said?
You're fucking weird.
He said he's a crazy motherfucker. Is what he said. What I call him.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
That's your own family calling you crazy. Your own family said you're crazy. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody's coming to visit you.
Thank you so
You
much.
can sit there with that dumb look on your face, but it's over. You enjoyed yourself, and it's all over now. Okay? Anything you want to say? I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's what you say. But I'm telling you, you did. Okay? Simple as that. You're not in charge. I am. I just took it away from you. That's one thing you can't change, brother.
Let's see.
Okay? Be no more yelling.
They can't get him to crack.
Okay.
Right here. Okay.
Are you through with your little show you've been putting on all day?
Ready?
Huh? Are you through? You're not going to win. Too much evidence. Too much evidence. Appreciate you talking to me, though. Just hang tight. Look, Glenda will be down here in a minute. I'll usually take her to drive down the interstate.
I don't know.
Well, hang tight, okay?
Okay.
It's so bizarre. Look, he's just gonna stay forward again. Look at, oh my god. Look at, he hasn't moved. Look at the end of the video. He has not moved. All right, let's get to that point where the chair defies gravity one last time, and then we'll clean up we'll Get the stream closed up.
At the Real
I knew they
luxury
were
is
gonna do
Gucci,
that.
Louis Vuitton, Prada. Luxury is
All right.
scoring something.
And you've lived next to Lauren for a long time?
We're gonna close it up with a
Do you know where she's at tonight?
defining gravity moment. It's coming up.
Hmm?
No.
Have you ever seen her with
I'm
that
getting
dress
loopy
on?
now because I'm tired.
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
It's coming. Ready? Here it comes.
Yes.
Let's just see it one more time.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
Ready?
No.
One more time before we go. Right? Ready?
Oh.
That chair. That
Yes.
chair held this whole. That was the first and the last time that chair was gonna.
Oh, okay. My major didn't do that, but okay. All right. All right. Bye. Look, just tell me what happened, brother.
I don't know.
Well, where's she at? I need you. I'm asking you for your help.
I gotta watch that one.
I'm a detective, and I'm asking. Look, just tell me what happened. Yes.
Prosecutor.
So you on our side,
Yes.
right? You never worked on the other side.
No.
Did you like it when you were down there?
Yes.
Ready?
Got along with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. And you've lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
Oh, here it comes.
Yes.
All right. That's a good one. Oh boy. Whew. All right. 3-hour marathon. You guys hung out for 3 hours tonight. It's so good. All right. Tomorrow night, back to Coburger. I'm going to try to get all my thoughts together for tomorrow's show. And my brain is scrambled on that one. But we'll touch back on that tomorrow. I don't know. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for the super chats tonight. All the new members that joined. I had a lot of fun. I will be back tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your reminders. Let me drop the link in the chat room before you all go. We'll do a recap of the last couple of days. Okay, here's the link for tomorrow's show. You can go in there and hit the remind me button. Okay, that's going to be it. Thank you all for hanging out for 3 hours tonight. Just chilling, nice laid back Saturday night. We had a few laughs. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. I'm tired. Everybody go get some, like a healthy prostate, good stream. Oh, that's a good one. Everybody have some nice, get some sleep. We had the screechy chair. Maybe I'll pull some sound bites from that. Stephen and fucking liar. Maybe we'll pull that. But thank you all so much for hanging out. I had a great stream tonight. It was fun, smaller crowd tonight, intimate crowd, but we had some good laughs and everybody missed a great show. So I will see you all tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go back and go back over Koberger. I might actually pull the affidavit back up and read through some of it again. See if there's maybe some things we missed or some other things that we can take a look at. But with that being said, tomorrow it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I dropped the link in the chat. All you need to do is click on that link afterwards and just hit the reminder button. Okay. Good night, guys. Thank you so much. I always say that, guys. I just default to guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Chosen Rosen, you are the man tonight. You gifted out all those memberships. Thank you. That's very, very nice of you. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So long. Guys, everybody have a good night. If you need, please email your email ASAP. My email is this. theopinionatedidiot@gmail.com. If anybody wants to write, you can do that. If not, you have my post office box as well. If you want to send me stuff there, that's fine. I want to try to get this wall covered up with some stuff. So maybe some fan-made stuff or cards or whatever. We'll get that decorated a little bit. But again, everybody have a good night. I will see you all tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me hit the outro if I can find it. You're stumbling. Good night.